I like these calm little moments before the storm. It reminds me of Beethoven.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
And have a good time this evening. Good. Beard, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Pretty easy day for me today. It was raining outside, so when you got a job that requires being outside and not being rainy and everything being flooded, you get to take the day off, basically. So that's pretty nice, but happy to be here. Unsurprisingly, I'm sure to everybody who knows me, this was my first watch through this. I'm looking forward to getting into it because there's a lot of meat here to chew on.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Hey, and Dempsey, welcome back, man.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me back on. This is a great film. I'm really glad that I revisited this. I got to see a new version of it, and I learned a lot about the production and things that I never noticed before. So, yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I appreciate it. Yeah, ready to get into it. Oh, I got my my cleaner shirt on, my Slayer shirt. I don't know if you can see it.
Nice.
There you go. Excellent.
Nice.
Looks like Leon's pointing a gun at you.
Yeah, right. That's what I was going for.
Like Leon's coming up behind you. He's going to send a message. You know?
And that's Matt, right. The actual American, unbelievable. How you doing, man?
Italian American. Yeah, I'm doing good. Now, for those who don't get the name, I get a mild pet peeve. I'm okay in general with it, but when this is supposed to be the mafia, right? And you have a French guy playing Italian, I'm kind of okay. But then, like, you know, like it's supposed to be taking place in like Little Italy, but it doesn't look like Little Italy. You know?
No. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah,
I love it.
It's been a while since I've seen this, and it was probably on TV and the Americanized version. But yeah, this is good. And Gary Oldman's performance in this is
wow.
He plays a good crazy.
Yeah, he does. Okay, and I love the way that he's got multiple layers to his character, and that he could have just been some random one-dimensional bad guy, but you know they put layers on him. I love it.
He tends to get typecast a little bit as one of two things: a crazy guy, especially a villain, or like a really sort of drab guy, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like just a sort of like a professional man, you know, it's like and like
a serious person, you could say.
Well, and Sirius Black, of course, right?
Right.
You know, and you know, I know he was in what was that Denzel Apocalypse film? Where he was blind and had a Braille Bible or something.
Book of Eli.
Yeah, Book of Eli. He was in that. Where he was like almost a Mad Max style villain, you know.
Right.
Then he plays the state Commissioner Gordon in the Nolan's Batman films, you know. I
mean, even if he's typecast as playing these sort of extremes, he's got a decent amount of range within them because he does a lot. He is not just like your standard crazy guy, and every single time he's supposed to be like a weird crazy guy.
Right. As a matter of fact, later the year that he did this role, he was Beethoven.
Yeah, and then like the year before, or 2 years before, he played one of the most over-the-top crazy Draculas. You know. Right,
and then he was right after.
You don't like Beethoven, do you?
Right. You're a Bach guy. No. Or, he plays Zorg as well.
Yeah, in the Fifth Element, which is
same director.
Dempsey, have you ever been on Roman's show yet?
Yes, I torture him with that all the time because I love that movie.
Yeah, he hates it for some reason. I love the Fifth Element, not just because she's a goddess. I mean, she's like a literal goddess. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like literally, if she walked in the room, I would just bow down to her. That's how awesome she is. But like that movie is so like it's a movie when you watch. We should do the Fifth Element at some point in the show, Jacob. It's a movie when you watch it, when you read read about it.
I did do the.
This is gonna suck. Did we? I don't even remember. Was I on it? Anyway,
Yeah, it's been a while, but
yeah.
I don't
But
remember.
like when you read about it, like this is gonna suck. There's no way this could be good. You know what I mean? And you watch it and you're like, wow, like you know. But the performances, Gary Oldman, just over the top character. You know, Ian Holm.
Yeah. Ian Holm was great in that. I loved him in that. I even like Chris Tucker's character.
Yeah, one of the few movies Chris Tucker is good in. You know,
right.
So Leon.
Perry, yeah. So anyway, back to this. I'm saying.
Yeah. So Leon.
We were talking
I
about
love
Gary
this.
Oldman,
The first shot of him is like, it's his hands and a glass of milk.
Right. And he's clean and well kept.
He's clean.
Now,
yeah.
Like, it's very.
If you haven't seen a lot of John Reno movies, I've seen at least 15 or 20 of them. So he is a body actor. Like he did other stuff too, but he acts with his body, his motion, the way he poses, the way he moves. So whenever, and Luc Besson knows that, so that's why he focuses on him in certain angles and stuff. You know,
right? Yeah, and he plays it to where he's kind of slow, but they explain it down the line that he's not actually slow. He's meticulous and very extremely professional and obsessed with routine.
Yeah.
So I love the way he plays.
Well, I was gonna say, which being a sociopath / serial killer, that would make sense.
Right.
You know?
Right. Cayenne paranoid all the time.
Yep.
I love this first part here. It's like, so they're like, they want this guy out of town. They want to send a message. So they want this guy to have the crud scared out of him. So he goes back and reports to other people. This is what happens when you mess with this guy.
Well, okay. So to explain the organized crime thing, well, the reason he got to live, he's a made man. You cannot kill a made man without his boss's permission, unless you want to start a war.
Right.
So, like, you can kill all the scrub guys. Like, I mean, you know, I grew up around a mob, so like, guys who, you know, like, if you weren't made, you did not want to be some dude's bodyguard. You know, because they could kill you left and right if you weren't made. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Like being on a crew is one thing, but if you're the bodyguard for a made guy, they'll kill you and let him walk out of there because he's made. You know. So this is a made man, and so he's letting him live. Send the message of, we could have started a war because you're impeding on our territory, but we're not. You know?
Right. Well, and it's also strongly hinted at later in the movie that this was set up by the main antagonist. This actual job that he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, you know, competition. And they bring it up. They're like, you know, you've done this for us in the past.
Oh, I didn't put that together. You're right.
No, I didn't. Wow. That's flour. This is flour. They deal in flour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
It's flour. They run a bakery.
Right.
It's a competing bakery.
Yeah. They take their baking very seriously.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
This guy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Serious.
this guy. There's somebody here to see you. He looks serious.
Exactly what I was saying before. He's a bodyguard to a made man. And he knows he's done. That's the look of him who knows he's dead.
Like, his name is Tonto, right?
Yeah.
Like Tonto. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, apparently the girl that this made man was with, the
yes.
woman of the night, was married to the director at the time. Or to the writer. To the writer.
But that's the director too, Luc Besson.
Right.
He's famous for that.
He did the same thing
also
with
plays
Fifth Element.
She also plays the diva in the Fifth Element,
right?
Too.
Yeah, I love that scene.
By
the way, I really love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a very
Something
interesting
serious
thing
is coming up.
Like when you look into the director and the way that he was always, almost always romantically involved with one of the females in the movie, it makes this movie a little bit more strange. But the girl, their story kind of influenced the writing of this movie. The way that she was like 11 or 12 years old when she met him and fell in love with him, and then they ended up getting together down the road, influenced the writing of this script.
Ooh.
So, yeah,
It's like, it's Tato.
right.
Whoops.
Oops.
And she, I mean, I kind of seen her around because I've seen her in other French movies that but she's like apparently accomplished French actress, by the way.
Oh, Mywin,
Yeah,
or however you say it. I don't know how to
I
say
guess
it.
it's my one.
Right.
Like I said, I've seen her in other. I don't follow. I've seen a lot of because of Christopher Lambert and John Reno. I've seen a lot of French movies.
Right.
So and
Yeah.
so it's like I've seen her around before. So apparently she's been a bunch.
Yeah, that.
See, I will never look over a balcony again. Thanks to
Right.
this scene.
Yoink.
This is why I
Oh,
don't wear
man.
ties.
Yeah.
I don't wear
See?
ties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
just go straight for the
grab
beard,
the
though.
beard, right?
Yeah.
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 Gotta keep that tucked
And,
inside the
and
shirt.
as you say,
That's right.
and it'd be like a Gimli, not the beard.
Yes.
Right. Right. Well, this guy fell for the trap, huh? Huh?
Yeah. Aha.
He fell for it. Yeah.
I got you. Got it.
I like this guy. Like everyone around him is dying, and he's over there like, oh, gotta get this, and
You just a little
Gotta
extra.
brush my teeth.
Gotta
right.
get the courage up.
Gotta brush my teeth.
Yeah, that's baking soda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
They're
cleaning his
making
teeth.
cookies. They're there to make cookies.
right.
Yeah.
Jeez, man. What a bad situation to be in. It's just kind of nothing to do except stand there. Yeah, that girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't run because if you run and your guy gets taken out, they'll kill you.
Right. Yep. This is a no good, bad situation. Yeah, that guy. They'd make the sound effect like his neck broke, but I don't know.
By the
that,
way,
Yeah.
Did you catch how the wardrobing there? Not only did he have what we in the East call a cowboy tie, he had cowboy boots on. So he matched.
Oh, he had that was the guy with the bolo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually had cowboy boots, so he matched.
the snake skin.
Crap, I'm on call.
All right.
Yeah, and they see him there hanging.
He's like,
This is the
"Oh,
portent of the end here.
Yeah. Like got bodybuilders on the wall back there.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird choice.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's very strange. Is that Arnold?
That's who it looks like. At least one of them, maybe.
Maybe not
Got
the
some
one in
Bud
skirt.
Light on the counter. Here. No. He's like, check the
Yeah.
balcony. And every one
Yeah.
of them goes out on the balcony. Like,
Yeah, there are a lot of tactical mistakes here,
Yeah, agreed.
including not having a way out.
Yeah, that's the problem with being up in the
Yeah.
air like that or running upstairs when the slasher is chasing you.
Yep.
Like there's no way to get out to the ground and he's just kind of stuck. But I love how they shuttered it off and didn't show you what happened out there. They just imply it all. And the holes coming through makes a really good visual with the way that the smoke was in the set. That was just a beautiful shot. Like there's a lot of that in this, man. The cinematography and editing in this, well, in the version I just watched, was top notch. I couldn't find any problems with any of it. And I tried. I looked.
yeah. This guy's about to hyperventilate too.
Right. Sweat and gravy. This guy, he's dropped some fruit in his looms.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
and then
calls 911. Somebody's trying to kill me.
And of course they put him on hold just long enough for him to pop, like materialize out of the shadows, man.
Yeah, right.
Like Batman wishes he was this cool.
Yeah, they're not, where are you? Just like, please hold for detective.
Right.
I'll call you
Like,
back.
can I help you? I'll call you back. Right.
Yeah. This is a fantastic framing and lighting here. And like you said, it's a very
Yeah, it
Batman
is.
move to appear and then immediately disappear.
Right. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
the poof be gone thing too at the end. But I love this. He's like, let me talk to
He's
our
like,
mutual friend.
Yeah. I like what he says here too. He's like, man, there's a bunch of Colombian on the counter. You can take it all.
Right.
It's like,
Well,
call this number.
I own half of Bolivia over there on the table. Yeah.
You're right.
Hey.
He's just like, well, I'll see you later. Business is normal.
The way that they both emoted this scene was perfect. Like, you're joking, right? You see what's happening
this scene, hopefully they won't call me back. This scene is like from the point that he appears out of the dark and disappears is one of the top 5 Hitman scenes in any movie.
Yeah.
Oh, agreed. And definitely inspired other movies
is.
of its ilk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
certain.
you can go back and see something like it in movies 30, 40, 50 years ago. But
Right.
this does it so well. It's a signature of that. It's what of its type of scene where you see the hitman coming out of the dark and then fading away.
Yeah.
You know, it's to me, it's the signature of it. You know,
Very professional, extremely. Like, it looks like he didn't even cut him. You know, he just had it up there. He could have. He could have been, you know, hey, I'm being serious here and put a little bit out like they do in most movies, but he didn't even do that because he wasn't sent here to do anything to this man except make him understand.
And he knows his point has been made.
Yes, he does. Yes, make sure he understands. Do you understand? Yeah.
it's certainly Bob.
And he pulls a
I
Batman.
love the way he turns it. He turns around. And he's like, oh.
Right?
Yeah.
What? That's funny. Yeah, that whole scene right there, that was epic.
Yeah.
Epic. What a great way to start a film.
It
This
really
is
kind of
what,
told
like,
you
10
everything
minutes,
that
5 minutes?
it tells you everything you need to know about Léon.
Right. He's a man of very few words and great action. And
Now
then
that
they go-
actor,
right.
the actor who played that guy,
Steals a couple of things of milk.
he looks familiar. I'm trying to remember what else I've seen him in.
He's been in a bunch of stuff.
It's one of those guys. It fits all over the place. I'll look him up later or whatever. There's where Tim Pool stole his beanie from.
Can't afford to get a cold, you know.
Gee, I wonder if Goya and Chef Boyardee have product placements.
Right. Yeah, he was in Ronin. He was in the Big Blue, Pink Panther. Like, this guy's been all over the place. Man.
You mean Leon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
Mission
Reno,
Impossible.
John Reno's been in everything. I was saying the guy who played the main man who he threatened to kill. Him, I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
If
this
you want
is
to see John
Natalie
Reno's
Portman's
best movie,
first
it's called
movie.
Wasabi. You ever seen Wasabi with John Reno?
Oh yeah,
Go see it.
Wasabi. Yeah, that's a good
It's
one.
such an awesome movie.
NYPD Blue, it looks like. That's the only one of them I know. Some Law and Order stuff. But yeah, he's been in a bunch of things.
Well, his name looks familiar. If he's the guy I think he is, like I've seen, he's one of those. He plays like he'll be in Law and Order in 7 different episodes of 7 different characters or whatever. You know.
Right. But yeah, this scene where she's trying to act like she's innocent, but she's not. Right. Yeah, I love the setup for the innocence and the loss thereof, and then the progression down the path. I love this scene. I think it's very tastefully done.
She says this like an adult that's promised somebody that she'll stop smoking. He's like, "Why'd you hide the cigarette?" And she's like, "Because there's rats in this apartment."
Right.
It's a little bit weird for me to see her this young in a role, because usually when you see an actor at very different ages, a lot of their features change. Her face looks exactly the same now as it has for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. It kind of was off-putting at first. It was like, okay, this is this is Uncanny Valley, but it's a real person.
Right. Right.
Well, this is her first movie role, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. She beat out 2,000 other actresses, including
She's
Christina
11.
Ricci for the role. Christina
Wow.
Ricci.
Yeah, I think before that she just did some Broadway stuff, or was that after? I don't know. But she's a little.
Yeah. Her first stuff. Hey, you know what? I'm glad that she did it. I could see Christina Ricci in this role too. I think that that Natalie Portman's career would have never taken off without this movie.
I don't want to slam Christina Ricci, but Natalie Portman is a way better actress. I just don't want
Yeah. I mean, she proves it in a
Yeah.
little while when she goes to Leon's door.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, good point. Yeah, this is one of the best performances I've seen in a really long time.
I don't know what this. Yeah, I don't know what this guy does, but it sounds like he just holds drugs for people. And they're like,
right.
We tested it
for the top
last week, and it was 100%, and now we tested again, and it's 90%. So somebody's been doing some cutting on it.
Yeah, he could be like a middleman distributor,
Yeah.
And he's now the funny thing is this is the most out there role like this. This guy Michael Beneducci. His most famous role was he played something like that. He played Jimmy in The Practice, but most of his roles are like are like not crazed drug dealers.
Right. Well, I mean, he was Babyface in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
But that's not most of his roles.
Yeah.
I mean, usually you'll see him as someone's dad or someone's lawyer, or and in this movie, obviously this is an early role for him, but if you're watching this years later after watching all of this stuff, and all of a sudden he's like a crazed drug dealer with machine guns doing his best Al Pacino impersonation. Like what?
I'm like, hey, when he's listening to his music, he doesn't like being interrupted. Don't make me interrupt him.
Right. Well, a question about that guy's about Gary Oldman's character. What are those pills? Did they ever explain that? Am I just dumb for not knowing? Or
I never noticed that they said anything.
I would say it's full of cocaine. I would say they're just capsules filled with cocaine. That's what I was thinking.
Like some high grade
because he doesn't swallow it. He smashes it.
Right.
So I don't know. It could be anything really.
Right. And he does that super over exaggerated bend and love it. He's such a good actor. It's just crazy. He goes up, does the creepiest thing ever, right? Just what? Yeah.
Now,
well, just to see if he's nervous or not, right?
I will say, if you're a criminal, let's say if you've never encountered him, right? I could see doing what he does, like what Matilda's dad does, like stealing and all that. But if you know this guy is like in your organization, you would never want to cross him and bring up notice. You know what I mean? Like there's certain criminals. Like I remember when I was a kid, and we would so we had our neighborhood, some of the mob guys and whatever, and we get warned about they'd say, "Well, see that guy there? Don't ever be in love with him. He's fucking crazy." But that guy, even though he killed 15 people, he won't harm a fly. They would tell us this stuff. This guy is one of those don't ever be alone with him. Don't ever call his attention to you. Don't ever if he's a guy what? You stole $1 from that kid over there? Boom!
Right.
He's just crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and they did a really good job of hiding these people's true intention and position of being there and why they're there. They did a great job of masking all that.
Yeah.
This is just superb writing and acting all at the same time. Yeah.
So it gives this guy 12 or till noon the next day to find out who's been cutting it. And then they leave.
That's the look of I'm screwed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like that she keeps a sucker available. So if somebody says, "Hey, we saw your daughter smoking," she would just switch it out and be like, "No, this is what I had the entire time."
Right.
But he still knows because he calls her out. Stop smoking.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, in an enclosed stairwell like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A giant cloud above her.
Look, and as a cigar smoker myself, I can go outside on a moving lawnmower, and you're still going to be able to smell it on me afterwards.
Right. Right.
There's no hiding
Yeah.
that.
I like this
Yeah. And
part.
then,
It's like,
yeah. The inside of this place was
opens
shot
his
all
coat
in
up.
France.
It's like he's loaded to the teeth, man.
I feel like this scene inspired The Matrix.
There are a lot of movies that went into the Matrix, so to speak.
Right.
Like I don't know how many Hong Kong action films you watch over the years, but there's a lot of movies that those that there was what were the names? They're the sisters now, I guess, but they were the brothers back then.
Wachowski
brothers, yeah.
Wachowski.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies that they like clearly drew from.
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah, he's
Cleaning
getting
his
in there,
plant.
and this plant, man, him and his plant. That's like John Wick's dog.
It's the only thing he loves more than milk.
Right.
That's another thing with Luke Besson films. When they're violent, they're over the top violent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how that comes into play later in the movie too. Him doing those sit-ups like the way he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Such good. So good. Yeah, that part got a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, that
Like
was a little
the teenage girl bending over at the camera like that. Very interesting direction.
Just in general, seeing her morning routines with her family like this, you learn again everything you need to know about her and her relationship with the family. And the only person that she shows any affection for this entire sequence is when she hugs her little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her family's
she's like on the bottom. She's the bottom of the pecking order in his family.
Right.
And look
middle
at the
child. Typical.
The dead look in her face, that sort of drawn dead look. Like she's like, my whole family's screwed up, It's like
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she's going to work.
Yeah.
Hey, ciao, cannoli.
Yeah.
The true star of the film, Megatron.
Yeah.
Megatron.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love that. Where she uses that later down the road too in the movie. So like nothing is wasted in any of these scenes with the setup. It all gets paid off down the road. It's crazy.
Well, that's apparently her character's favorite cartoon because she watches it like 3 or 4 times during the movie.
Right. Yeah. She even acts like she's not watching it at one point.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to act older or whatever.
It's Chekhov's Transformers. If you see Transformers on the TV, it has to come into play later.
That's right. That's right.
So she's been ditching school.
Foreshadowing here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like she's dead.
Yep. And that pays off at the end as well. So good. I love it. Yeah, the routine and him noticing every tiny little detail as he's walking around. Like the actor's playing it up like he's got some kind of mental disorder, but he really doesn't.
Well, I mean, with his profession, he has to be on edge everywhere he goes, but he can't look like he's on edge because he doesn't want anybody to suspect him.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but
I love
his
this part.
plant, right?
He's like,
his plant is the only plant in the whole movie that is that vibrantly green. That looks that alive. It's the most alive looking thing in the whole film. This whole world is sort of slightly washed out, drained looking. Except, drug crazy. Even drug crazy Gary Oldman looks sort of like drained of life, just drug crazy,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's wearing green pants and it's faded like out green. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, blood is very vibrant in this as well.
Yeah.
Like the greens and reds. Yeah, I'm with you. Like this scene was very, very well acted by her. And like I said before, man, the child actors are normally not that good. She was amazing in this.
Yeah.
Yes.
She very convincing.
Yeah,
and what a line
the plant, how vibrant green the plant is, it's alive, and then the how red the blood is, it's the life.
Right.
Yep.
blood, the life force or whatever.
Agreed. Yeah, and she's like, is life always this hard, or just when you're a kid? And he's like, always this hard. Keep it. Right.
She's like, I'm going shopping. You want some milk?
Also shows that she's almost as observant as he is, because he was kind of surprised that she noticed that anything about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tries to be as plain as possible. Yup. Here it comes. It's almost noon. Been almost 24 hours since he got the ultimatum. Oh, and go ahead.
There is no way that Leon is a real Italian assassin because he had ragu sauce on the table.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Good point. Yeah, this guy that they have working for him, that guy right there, got up against the wall.
Yeah.
He ended up becoming a firefighter and losing his life on 9/11.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rip, man. Yeah, this scene's great.
Yeah,
I was expecting them to
already
be.
know something's up before the guns start going off.
And all his dudes are hanging back because they know he's crazy. You can see them. Look at the look they're giving him. They know. You know what I mean? Like even the guy, like go back. So go back a couple frames, Jacob. This is really cool. You see the dude right behind him? When he first comes in, he's walking next to him. But as Oldman starts to ramp up his crazy, the character, he gets further and further back. Like you don't want to, like he's portraying this guy's getting exploded like a volcano, and I don't want to get hit by the the pyroclastic eruption.
Right. Well, I couldn't agree more, Cannoli.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Seriously. Like I can't think of anything I've ever seen him in that I didn't enjoy. Yeah, he gets into his Beethoven mood and just no F's given at all. Just
look
none.
on his face, the other actor's face. Like, really, man? Just I don't want to. I
Right.
do this like every week. It's like every time I go, I'm done with you.
I can just see this guy, before they get, going up the elevator. Now just play this cool. Just be cool. Okay?
Right. Well, because he knows these two guys are going to have to fill out all the paperwork.
Yeah. I think they think, they're going in here. We're just going to talk to the guy. And if he, continues, we're just going to take care of him. But then,
well,
then he grabs
that's
the
what they
shotgun.
were all
Like,
thinking.
oh.
And then Gary Oldman is like, Stanfield. Is that his name? Stanfield. He's like, let's just do it. It's
like, let's go on. Knock, knock.
Yeah.
Now I don't know exactly. I suspect they just use compressed air, like an air gun dolled up like a shotgun and just blasted air at her. But whatever they did, having it actually move the bubbles in the bubble bath made that such a more visceral scene.
Agreed.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and then later they show like behind the tub and the holes.
Yeah.
And although I think they're using what I call anti-physics bullets in most of this movie, where they defy reality and just do things that bullets should.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like make holes big enough for you to put your whole eye through.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This guy was.
But have no
Dempsey
recoil. Right. They blow through the wall, but have no recoil.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Like Dempsey was saying, this guy here was the fireman. He was in Hell's fireman in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. Much respect, man.
And that look at, I don't want to be in that room. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He knows.
Oh yeah.
Like it's already started. He knows.
Well, they look at me all hanging back.
They duck out of the way.
Like, oh,
Right.
Boss, it's just us.
Yeah.
Grand
This is right. Yeah, he starts talking to him about classical music. About he likes Beethoven, but after his openings, he becomes boring.
And that's kind of like what he's done. He had this grand entry, and now he's just talking.
Right.
He's personifying that.
Yeah.
By Goya.
Yeah, that scene.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oof.
This
That's a
too.
cast iron.
It
tub,
didn't just
and
go
it's full
into
of
her. It went
entry.
through the tub.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Literally.
I believe it.
And credit for actually getting a shotgun pellets going through water, a body, and everything. The spread not being, video game spread.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can
Right.
imagine Luke. He said, "We need another actress. Fire the gun. We need another one."
And apparently he's a
Oh.
famous reggae singer. Willie.
Okay.
Willie Blood.
That dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which what this is an Easter egg. He picked up the album and looked at it. Right. Yeah, very interesting. I didn't know any of that. I did a little bit more digging into this movie and found some very interesting things.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of his influences is what that was.
Okay.
Yeah. They're all doing stuff. He's just kind of hanging out, going through the records.
I have to wonder if it's something, not to this extent where they just come in and wipe everybody out, but something
Mhm.
similar to this confrontation has happened in front of that little boy before, because he's remarkably chill.
Right.
Like he just expects it to blow over.
I don't think the plan was to wipe them all out. And the plan was to take the dad away. And then
Right.
Oldman's character's like, take
Yeah.
a pill. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go nuts.
Woo. Hey,
Go now.
and then this guy right here is, I don't even know why they brought this guy. He's obviously really
Yeah.
twitchy and nervous. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me as to why they brought this guy.
And he jumps and like unloads on the wall. It's like,
Yeah.
Like what are you gonna be facing in that room? Like it's a monster or something.
Oh, right. Good thing none of your buddies were on the other side of that wall, huh?
And that guy's just outside sweating.
Yeah, right.
Right.
It's like, oh, yeah.
He's like, I hate being here, but at least I'm not in there.
Right. And yep, he got him there. Yep. Hiding in plain sight.
It's like,
And that's what the guy out in
put
the
a hole
hallway
in my
sees.
suit.
He sees a dead body come out of the door. And
Mhm.
and then the next time we see that character, he's flipping out there in the hallway. I love it. Yeah.
He's like, what are you doing? He's dead.
Well, now he's
Come on.
extra dead.
Maybe we should go out in the hallway.
Maybe wave first before you walk around the corner.
Right.
Oh, this
Hey,
is so
Benny.
funny. He's like, hey, Benny.
Hey, I don't blame him. Last thing he saw was that dead person come out of there. Who
Yeah.
knows what's coming out? And who knows what hell would be rained down upon him if he let somebody escape.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding.
So that's sounds like a lose-lose for that character, no matter where he's at. Leon's just kind of
This
hanging out.
lady.
Yeah,
He's like, all right, peace.
maybe we should go back inside.
He's like,
Awesome.
he's like, he told you to go back inside. This
I
lady
like-
reminds me of the lady on. Go ahead.
Go-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say through all this, Leon's peeping out his door, but it's not just he's keeping an eye on the craziness that's happening around him. He doesn't know who those guys are or if they're actually looking for him. Like that's why he's actually
Right.
looking. We don't see that until just a little bit when we realize he's not just peeking out the door.
Right.
Right.
This lady reminds me of the little old lady on Predator 2, where the Predator comes out of the bathroom
Mhm.
and then Danny Glover comes out. He's like, I'm the police. And she's like, I don't think he cares.
Right. That's awesome. And they keep showing his door. They keep showing Leon's door.
Mhm.
Like, which I love. I love how they do that. All those little
Oh.
subtle tricks to make the world all feel connected from all these different shots. I love it.
This is the best sequence, the best scene here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some of the best child acting I've ever seen, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, she knows what has happened. She knows she can't react to it. And the only person that she can go to is this guy.
Yeah. She got lucky too. He almost didn't.
And I also like the fact we don't really see him open the door. We just see the light shine on her face.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a nice little touch. Very subtle.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, a lot of these super purposeful imagery and in a lot of these shots, it comes through really well with the story and makes everything feel connected. I love it.
Yeah. And then they find out that there's 3 kids here. I also like the fact that her picture is cut out and added on to. That's why that's kind of, we show the separation that they're not really. She isn't part of the
like
family.
An afterthought.
Really. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that guy's like, "Oh, we missed a kid. Go look for her. I just saw a really suspicious thing happen just now." And he walks down the hallway towards Leon's door. He got lucky that he didn't pursue that. And then saved by Megatron.
Saved by Megatron.
That's right.
Chekhov's Transformers.
That's right. Well, it makes sense, you know. You saw a kid go inside. Now you hear some cartoons going on the other side of the door. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She must live there. Now, what was that? Was that a radio that was inside of?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Yeah.
Said, I'd imagine there's some kind of imagery in there, but I was unable to pull any out.
Yeah, they found what that guy had been skimming.
Stay here.
Right.
Oh yeah, you stay here. What do I tell him?
Mm-hmm. We were doing our job.
And also, that's interesting because, as you said earlier, they're good at hiding what his job actually is.
Right.
And so we don't know if it's just we're talking to corrupt police that know that they're in on something, or we don't find out that technically he was doing his job just way too extreme.
Right, exactly. And which they bring up later in the movie. And, you know, a lot of lesser movies would have just blown past that and acted like, you know, well, just don't bring it up again. Maybe nobody will catch it. Mm-hmm. They dealt with all that in this. And she's like pouring her heart out to Guy right now.
Yeah.
He's resisting very much. It's like he was taught by Tony. They talk about it later that change is bad. Change is bad.
Ooh. Jay says it was in a clock room.
Oh. Oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Is Beard out or am I out?
I think it's Beard. Yeah, because it cut out. I thought it was me at first too.
Yeah, you might be getting some weather down there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's all right. But yeah, the whole scene with the pig was a really good way
to
show that
really good.
He cares and he's trying to get her to mellow out, but he doesn't really know how to connect with her. Right. But he's trying his hardest, and it comes across very endearing.
It does.
Yeah.
He's like, pigs are very clean.
Right.
Cleaner than people.
Nicer than people, right?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Which was another thing that Tony taught him. It's like basically everything that comes out of his mouth, he was taught by Tony or by his father. And most of the stuff about his about the old world, he doesn't even talk about because it's so painful for him to think about. So, yeah, so well done because damage can sense damaged. So he knows that she's going down a bad road.
There are some nice guns in this movie.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, Oldman's was one of 2044s like that ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Crazy.
a really nice piece. It's like a freaking cannon. That guy's walking around with Dirty Harry, but cooler.
Yeah. One of the guys on the in the first of it that went out onto the balcony had a full auto Beretta.
Oh, nice. Burley. Hey,
Yeah.
you would think that you would need some kind of license to carry that, I think. Isn't that what, class 3 license?
Yeah. Unless you're a criminal.
Man. Or a police officer.
That's an expensive gun. That's an expensive gun for a criminal or a police officer, really.
Right. Agreed. Well, but if you're both, I'm sure that you have a little bit more means, right?
Right.
Oh, let's see here. Wow, that's burly. That's funny. I didn't even study that shot before. You think I would have? Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry, I knocked some stuff over.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good though. Matt's
Okay.
on a ticket right now. This scene right here. What do you think about her back and forth with him in this scene?
Like the inevitable tide, I've returned.
Nice.
Man, IT, like, it's apparently 3 weeks is enough for users to completely forget their password.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't remember what they had for breakfast yesterday.
Did we lose someone?
Yeah. Beard's
Beard
internet
dropped
issues.
out.
Oh.
Weather, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so
what were you saying
where
about
are
this
we?
scene, Dempsey?
I was saying the interaction between these two here, where she finds out he's a hitman. You're a cleaner. Oh, so you're a hitman, and he just fully comes out and is like, yes, to this little girl whose family just died.
And she's like, cool.
Right. Like, cool. Can you teach me?
There he is.
And he's like, no, absolutely not. You're not getting into this. And not only that, but you're not my problem. He's still in that he's trying to resist his good nature at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's
bad weather, huh?
like,
No, I have no idea what's going on. It's actually fairly clear out right now. Don't know what that was.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully I'll stick around.
Right?
We were talking about the guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was on my phone looking at that going, dang it, I wish I was there.
Right? Yeah.
I just like the old days when you could always count
What
on
is-
at least
What was that? What is that gun?
Which one?
That one.
The long one?
Yeah, the one on the bottom. Yeah, on the right.
I'm not sure what that is.
1911?
Yeah, it's a 1911
That's what I was
A2.
thinking. But
I mean, that's what it says.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 1911 with like a competition barrel for more range and accuracy. But yeah, it definitely says 1911-A2 SASS, I think.
So I don't know. Again, I'm not a gun guy, but if you guys see a Walter P38 at any point in this movie, let me know. Because that's what Megatron transforms into.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It kind of looks like that, like not exactly, but so every time I see one it could be, I'm like, is that it? I never really thought. Now I'm looking for it. I never looked for it before. I'm like, hey, maybe they had a little in joke there,
Well, and that one on the left is the one he ends up
guys at the
getting to.
beginning. At the beginning had a
Yeah.
Beretta 93R, which is the full auto Beretta.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are
That
cool.
gun right there is a breech loading. The barrel will tip down, and it's a single shot 308 1911. It shoots a 308 rifle caliber out of a pistol.
That's burly.
Yeah.
But it's a single shot. It's not magazine fed because those would be too big for the grip.
Yeah. It's a boomstick.
Right.
Yeah, that's a long case. Oh, pardon.
I'll put you guys back on.
There's
the
a
main
movie
screen now.
with a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and the bad guy in it is the guy that plays Bishop in Aliens, and he's got that gun.
Lance Henriksen.
It's like his bad guy gun. Yeah, Lance Hendrickson.
One of the
All
most
right.
underrated actors. Like I love him in everything he does, even bad
Yeah,
movies.
he's good.
Oh, the Cajun movie where he played fake Gambit.
Right. Yeah.
Remember, everyone said he's playing fake Gambit because he's acting like Gambit without superpowers, except for he can jump over cars. And I think
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen played a mob, like a mob boss of the swamps or something like that. And he has
Right.
a motorcycle. Now I'm remembering this movie. He had a motorcycle stunt where he's on the motorcycle, and I think he
Talk
drove
about-
into a car
Rogue City, is that what that is?
and then jumped over the car and landed on another car. So it was a really cool looking stunt, but I remember the movie. You know?
So she's like, I'll stay here and clean for you. I'll clean the house and everything, and you can take out the bad guys.
Yeah, perfect domestic bliss between sociopaths. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would only take forever to work off the cost of each person that she wants to have off in just with household chores.
Right. Right.
This is a little thing, but I like how he's like initially just so like awkward. He doesn't really like know how to put a blanket on a person to like help them get comfortable for bed. He just like plops on her like
Well, it
do I
gave
do
her
now?
the most itchy, uncomfortable, stiff blanket possible, right?
Yeah.
Like here.
Well, he doesn't use one himself. He sleeps upright in a chair, ready to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes over
This is his
some of the
return to
rules.
humanity.
And he's like, no women, no children.
Right.
He's like,
Above that, he
and he's
dresses
like
in all
wrestling
black.
here.
Yeah.
Stealth for darkness.
And that right there, that scene is he really had to resist his urge to keep himself safe. And he really came to terms with, I'm going to allow this person into my life.
Yep.
Because earlier, go ahead.
It's a conflict between rules. Keep himself safe or don't kill women and children.
Right.
You know, so he keeps processing in his head. He's still being an automaton, and his emotions are trying to come up and say, protect, 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 you know?
Right.
But
Yep. Well, also he's afraid to let people
Zax
close.
is in the chat.
He's afraid to love.
Yeah.
What's up, Zax? Yeah. This whole shot where they obviously did. This whole shot where they went through and came out.
Common people. Wording.
Yeah. I think that was intentional and a little bit awkward considering her age.
Yeah.
More than a little bit awkward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
they get into that
awkward.
too.
Awkward.
He's just talking about how you're using a fan.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's just blowing that flour away from all those cookie baking early in the film.
Right. That was when he decided to go more human. He was going to let himself come back to being a human as opposed to just being the Terminator.
Yeah.
Well, kind of, but he also just told her right there, you got to get out.
Right. So where do I go? Not my problem.
Yeah.
well, he doesn't know.
He's
He's
like,
still
here, take this.
He's still like, you know, he's new input child. What do I do? I can't kill children. Keep safe.
Here.
You know, he's just, you know.
Yeah. Here, take this gun and go away.
Right. Oh, you want to be a cleaner? Here, go clean. Right? Good luck with that.
That might be what someone did to him when he was that age.
No.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, he said he was normal till he was 19, and then he came over here.
Well, he thinks he was normal till he was 19.
True.
You know.
But yeah, you can
I like
see
this.
the
Like,
softness in his eyes when he's talking to her. It's different. Right?
Yeah.
What's up, Gadfly?
hey, Gadfly. Like, he's like, I don't think you can do it. And she grabs the gun.
Pow, 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 pow.
And she hits at least one window because you hear some glass break.
Yep.
Yeah. And a car alarm
Shoot.
goes off.
Yeah. Shooting down into the street. He's like, oh, and then the next scene, like immediately.
It's like, now we got to move locations. You've drawn too
Right.
much attention.
Right.
Now, okay, I hate to get very dark with this, but I don't think she got out. I think she herself became a hitman when she got older. Because if you think about her character,
She
right?
sniffed him, Nikita.
It could have been.
Yeah, that was right before this. That was
Yeah.
the last project right before this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is a nascent sociopath herself with dysfunctional family. She's her brother, the one person she gets love, get murdered, basically. That's her trigger. Now she has all this basic training and knowledge from however much she spent with him, 2 weeks,
Right.
a month or whatever. The sad truth of the psychological reality is people who are like this don't really get away, like they don't get cured. You know what I mean?
There's no coming back. Right.
Yeah, at best you teach them how to manage and become
Yeah.
a successful CEO rather than a successful hitman. You know?
Right. Right.
Like,
Right.
But yeah, there was a sequel script written, and they were going to wait for Natalie Portman to get older to do it. But then the guy the writer left the group that he was with, and they held on to the rights, and they won't let him go because they're sour about it.
Wow.
So yeah, there was a Matilda sequel that was already written.
Now that guy who plays
yeah.
the clerk, by the way, he's been around a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot, but like 40 movies or whatever. You know, I think he's more a stage guy, but maybe one of the funniest movies you probably never have seen, The Man with One Red Shoe.
Oh, I love that movie. Tom Hanks.
We were talking about it. What was it? The last show, Jacob? We talked about it as well. I brought it up. The last movie we did.
I saw that movie when I was real young.
But he was in that. Tom
Uh,
Hanks. Was it Tom? Remember, you and I were talking on my show, Jacob. Was it Tom Hanks? Remember, we talking about
Right.
and so Tom Hanks, the Man with One Red Shoe. So this guy, the Man with One Red Shoe, you know, and Dabney Coleman, the Man with One Red Shoe. Remember?
Yeah.
So yeah. So it all leads to the Man with One Red Shoe.
That's right. Oh, the red shoes lead down their own rabbit hole.
yeah.
I like the attention to
Hey,
detail.
Trip.
In this rundown bathroom, they had the shelf put on wrong. You look at it.
Awesome. Clothespins up there.
yeah. The light plate is out of whack. It's not true and plumb.
Yep. And the reds and greens on the pins.
Yeah.
Yep. Pull out the reds and greens are the only colors that really stand out in this movie. And he even brings that up about his wardrobe, about why you always dress dark, because you never want to be lighter than the surrounding area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It help you blend in. The first thing he does when he walks in, automaton back again. Check every corner, check everywhere.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's kosher. Yep. Oh, this is perfect spot for my plan. Right.
Yeah, and I guess we also did. I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Did we mention when they point out he can't read?
I
Yeah.
don't think that's
Oh,
happened
no,
yet,
no,
has
it
it?
No, yeah, it did because when
Oh,
they
right.
checked
Yeah,
in-
because she checked in.
When they checked in,
Yeah.
right?
True.
So we find out he can't write, and then later we find out he can't. Back in the other apartment, she figures out he can't read.
Yeah, it's here. Read
So then
this
they
and throws a
Go
receipt
here
at him.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only skill his alleged mentors had developed was the ability to kill people.
But she rolls right into it and immediately covers for him at the front desk.
Yep. Well, that's what sociopaths do.
Yeah.
Lying comes
love-
real easy to them.
The guy at the counter says, you gonna need that for staying here? And he's pointing at the violin case.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different kind of violin in there.
Yeah. Right. The dangerous kind.
It's so they can
Yeah.
play music while they bake. You know?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the impromptu, I've got to, scholarship at Juilliard, and yeah, that was great. Hey, Jana, what's up?
Hey, Jenna.
Yo,
Yeah, amazing.
we have more Italian people between people on the show and in the chat than are actually in this movie, which is supposed to be taking place in Little League.
Yeah, right. Hey, I got some Italian blood. Mostly Irish, but I got some Italian in there. Little tiny fraction of Native American. Yeah, Tony's
I'm
great.
Northern European.
Say, my grandma used to call Italians Southern Germans.
Jana, I can't highlight that one. This is a family show.
No, but your progeny has Italian blood. So
She's Italian by osmosis.
right.
Going
did any
I'm
with the theme that
I'm
we've said
mostly
before or
British
said before
Isles.
of how like this film is careful to let relationships between people in like early. When they first sit down together in this, I thought this was like, oh, this is like the one friend Leon has. Nope. Turns out this is where he gets his contracts.
Right.
Yeah.
And apparently it's his bank and where he keeps his gun or one of his guns, the training gun he's going to use.
Right.
And I mean, he straight up calls him out for it because it's a long gun, which, as he explains in a little while to Matilda, you only use this when you can't like get close. And
Right.
like then as you become more skilled and more professional, you get as close as you possibly can.
Right. And then we'll teach you the knife.
Yep.
The very last thing you learn. Yeah, he goes over some really good stuff here. There's some questionable camera work happening. But it's really well done with the way they set it up and the way that they're bringing tension by showing us them looking at this guy, but the guy doesn't know. So giving us information about the character that the character itself doesn't know is a really good way to build tension. And I think that this sequence handles that extremely well. Like he's like, hey, no, put that back on, right? Because
don't the scope glint.
Right. It makes a glare. They can see you coming a mile away.
And with the whole like predatory motif of like older sociopath and younger sociopath, it's like how you watch like tigers or lions or bears teach their cubs how to eat things, kill things live, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at how yellow he is in this.
He must be Italian because he has a tracksuit on.
Right.
The some of the things that Leon tells her when she's sighting in on him, like imagine like you're walking right next to him and like making it more personal. That actually, if it's accurate, was some of the things that the I think it was the Washington DC shooter where they would like hide in the trunk of a car. They just have like a little hole and they would pick off random people. Like the guy that actually was trained to do that was kind of groomed by a guy. And one of the things that he had him do was like shoot his own picture and like this kind of like disassociating and like, but also being really familiar with your target, trying to like put yourself in their shoes as you're trying to take them out. It's apparently an actual thing with people who decide they want to take out people's just at random.
If I remember the DC sniper thing correctly, the older guy was actually he had I don't know if he was an actual military sniper or anything, but he had some sort of like gun training, like formal gun training, and the car they were in or truck was set up like the back was like a sniper nest.
Yeah.
But
that's one of the things that the kid he trained said is like it would be like imagining yourself as the target. You could just like turn your brain off to not feel anything. And that's kind of vibes that I got whenever he was telling her, like, imagine you're sitting there walking next to him, you know, and predicting his moves and such.
Yep. You got to teach him the anticipation, teach her how to calmly breathe, take a breath, hold it in.
Yep.
Yeah. All those lessons. That's really
and good. You take the one shot and you move. You're
that's
done.
Right. And you see the use of his actual blanket that he gave her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she's been with them long enough to know how to clean and maintain guns.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, very important to know how everything works. Yeah. Almost as important as being taught how to safely hold one.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much by the end of this film, she has full assassin basic training done.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked that whenever she's doing aerobics, that kind of made me, it kind of showed you like she kind of misses her sister that she always hated.
Right.
It was a little thing.
Well, she's reaching out for the normalcy of what she had before. Like before, she was in a bad family situation, but it was kind of normal bad. You know what I mean? Now
Right.
she's like,
Yeah.
she's in her head. She's like, am I a professional killer now? Am I like, you know what I mean? Am I just going and she's pulling the trigger and just going through it and, you know.
Yep. The plant and the milk.
She's like, ugh, more milk.
And
Fine.
guys,
Right. Now I get that the whole we're not going to drink alcohol because we have to stay sharp thing. I get that. But what's the point of the milk? Is it the white pureness? I mean,
I would say
that was weird.
Back in the 90s,
that was this was an
was-
uncomfortable scene.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
it's supposed to be
But-
an uncomfortable scene.
To be fair, they did show a Madonna poster on her wall earlier on in the movie. So they brought up that she did like Madonna, but bringing her out in that outfit was weird. That was funny. I like
Yeah,
this
that-
part. And then his response was
funny.
great too. Yeah.
But I would say back in the 90s and 80s, there was propaganda that milk was like the greatest thing ever. You had to drink milk all day. Make your bones denser than iron.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't know who any of these characters are. Except
I love this.
This whole sequence. I
Bill
mean, I don't get creeped out because I'm not like I don't think of it. I don't think of the creepy stuff with this. I think of the psychology of it. So if you think of psychology, you're okay. But the acting these two do in this sequence, I mean, this is an older master actor and a younger master actor. Like you know what I mean? Like just
Right. And they have good chemistry on screen too.
Yeah.
So like I actually think that these people are these characters interacting in this way. Yeah.
I like she's like, oh, it's good try. It's a good job. I really liked it. She's like trying to like bolster his ego. It's like, no, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Right. Don't give up. We're having fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first two outfits she comes out with are a little bit awkward. But if you kind of look at it kind of like a like she's I don't know, Matt, maybe you wouldn't get into this as we go throughout and we get some of the other scenes, but I kind of got the idea based on some comments I read that like she's kind of doesn't realize that she's looking for a father figure and he's kind of stepping into that role. He's confused by it because because kids don't often understand like platonic versus romantic love. And so
that's very
and her age and all that, right.
And she never had a good
very Freudian versus Jungian.
Yeah,
she never had a good representation of that either.
Right.
Yeah.
What's triggered in her is the I need a mate who can protect me instinct that females have. But she has no idea what that is. She's just responding to it, right? Now, a normal adult male in that situation would be like, okay, this kid's crushing on me. I'm not going to encourage it. I'll call her mom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Right.
As an adult male, you at some point if you encounter younger women or girls who crush on you and you know how to deal with it appropriately, right?
Right.
He has no idea. He's like he's not even reacting to her sexualizations. He has no idea what that is. He's a sociopath.
Right. Yeah, it's inconceivable for him.
Yeah.
That's not on his radar anywhere.
So he's not like he's not leering at her. He's just dead facing. He's like, and she's throwing these things out there and saying like she's trying to get him to react because she's seen imagery with like Madonna or whatever, and you know, like she's acting on those instincts. He is just beginning to awaken protective instincts right around now, right?
Right.
Because now he's connecting
really
to her, and something's stirring in there. You know, like boiling in the background, and because he's been teaching her. When you're a parent, you teach the young animals, and so that's leading to more connection. You know,
you can see he definitely starts taking on more of a fatherly role. Like that scene we just whipped past where he was like spraying her with the water bottle. That's definitely like a father-daughter. Like I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you kind of moment.
Yeah.
With your actual parent and siblings that you're raised with young, something I don't know what it's called, but there's a name for it, where you can be safely, like you can be in a bikini around your dad, let's say, and it's not sexual, he doesn't look at you that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a name for that, there's a psychological name for that. But same thing with your mom. You could be around your mom like well, one of my friend's mom was like playmate level good looking, right? He could be around her and not even notice. We were like
Man, that must suck, dude. I'll bet he never heard the end of that, man.
Oh no, I have to say it. She was a manipulative witch. Like she did something when we were 15. They had a pack rat garage. And so she said, I'm gonna go clean the garage, boys. She walked out there in a bikini top and shorts and just served us drinks, and we just cleaned our garage for her. Like there was we just couldn't say. When you're like 14, you have no ability to say no to that. You know what I mean? You might think creepy or anything, but she was but you just But the point I'm getting at is when you're with your actual parent siblings, you don't, and you grow up with them, you don't develop that sort of attraction to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
So that's kind of at play in a way there because they're not that, but he instead of having that with her, he's a sociopath that has no connection to what she's doing with the attractiveness stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's right. It's a very interesting sort of, we're trying to keep it clean, and the chat is going like, oh my gosh.
Right. But yeah, this scene is where he was like,
keep it G.
Is it a woman? Change is bad, and he keeps going over all these lessons that he's been teaching this guy the whole time. Yeah. And you can see it in Léon's face that he's trying to be dishonest with this guy, but doesn't know how. Like he's a very forthright person, even though he's, a serial killer.
Yeah. So my question, I wonder, is he the one who brought Léon into or did he know the guy who brought him in?
No, he said when the thing happened that they explained later that caused all this to happen, which is the reason why he's so broken against love and all that thing. He came over here to be with his dad, and his dad was working for Tony.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Was he the one who actually trained Léon, or
yes?
That's what because I don't remember if they said that explicitly, and that's why Leon's bonded to him as his sort of mentor.
I don't think they ever explicitly say it, but Léon will say something, and then Tony's like, "I taught you that," and it happens like multiple times throughout the movie. So I'm guessing that if he didn't teach him how to do it, that he at least was a role model, mentor of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's telling him, I want you to give if something happens to me, give all my money to the girl.
I think that's later. I think this is where he's just trying to get money out for the dress.
Oh, are you sure?
I think so. I could be wrong.
Yeah. It's so early. Like Danielle's character is like he's not acting normally. You know what I mean? He's not acting.
Tony can
acting like an automaton anymore.
Yeah, because he straight up calls him out. He's like, "Did you meet a girl?"
Right.
It's like, no.
Like he did, but not like that.
Yeah.
He's like, remember the last girl you had a problem with?
Right. Which was when he was 19.
Right.
He's so broken he can't let go of that. Like, I get it. That's why the thought of this other person, whoever she is, whether it be a kid or whoever, would never enter into his mind. He only had the one love ever.
Yeah. And here you've got some more fatherly stuff going on.
Right.
You can't just talk to anybody on the street.
Right.
See, it's actually a weird combination of like fatherly protectiveness, and also you don't need to have people noticing you if you're going to be in this business.
Well, he's being like it's a combination, like you said, but the key is because he's starting to be emotional. Previously, he would have just said like he would have been stone cold about it. That's not the right way to do it. Now he's being like aggressively protective. You know what I mean? It's something building in there.
More uncomfortable stuff.
And
he spits
every time
out.
he told her to stop doing something, she said okay, even though previously he had been like, stop saying okay all the time. Right. And so every time he was like, don't do this, don't do that, stop smoking, don't go around this kid. Every time he said it, she was like, okay. But yeah, this is where she confesses her love to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, but if you've never been in love, how do you know it's love?
Which is a question he asked himself too.
He just hits the eject button. He's like, I got to go for a walk.
Right.
Yeah. I got to go whack some people.
So this is where a normal,
like adult male would say, "Oh, she's crushing. Let me call her mom or dad," and but he has no basis to deal with it. So so
Right, and he walks.
He's doing the Tim Pool walk now. Like with the hat.
Yeah, with the flooded pants on and everything. And he walks like he's got some kind of like mental retardation of some form. Like he played it that way on purpose.
Tim Pool is Leon because he gets swatted.
Tim Pool wishes.
Yeah, I can't imagine
McDonald's
who gets swatted like 3 or 4 times a year or more. Oh my god.
Yeah, that must suck. Okay. No, thank you.
I was watching
this
scene. Aside, I was watching one of them talk about it. They said they come in. I get swatted so much the cops just come in and start eating food with me. They don't even. They just know.
Right. But yeah, earlier when Léon walked out of the building, he walked right past the bellhop or the guy back here, and didn't say anything to him at all, even though the guy was trying to interact with him. And then she comes downstairs and does this, and it is ridiculously underhanded and petty and very childlike and super well written, because that's exactly what I think her character would have done.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think she portrayed this part really well. Again, with the child actor chops, man. She was something else.
Yeah, just throws out, "I'm his lover. I'm going for a walk."
Right.
It's like, if you don't acknowledge me, I'm going to cause trouble for you.
Yeah. Yeah, this scene, this was actually emotionally really high, I think. I don't know about you guys. The score, the cinematography, the acting.
Mm-hmm.
This was very, very good emotional draw for me. Did you guys have some kind of reaction to this?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, this is where our world kind of collapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still see the drawings that her and her brother and all did on the wall.
Yeah. With the whole
Well,
thing.
and I mean, since she's basically
like
met Leon, she's cut herself off from her feelings, and she's actually letting herself be human again, briefly.
Right. Got the emoticons
It
on
looks
the
like
wall.
that cop unloaded a clip, put a new mag in, and unloaded on that one too.
Well, those two, I guess you would say, Stansfield and Reggae Cop, both just unloaded and blew the apartment apart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jay, right there.
Yeah.
That.
Oof.
Yeah, man.
I had to punch you in the gut.
No, I do not know, because I've only ever seen the American version of this, but purportedly there is a much more violent European version where you will see the kid get gunned down.
The version I saw, which at least had some of the European scenes in them, did not show him get shot.
Right.
You see him run into the hallway and then it cuts away.
Right.
But what I saw definitely did have some scenes that are not supposedly in the American version. So I don't know exactly what I watched.
Yeah, I'm with you too. The C is always right. So
yeah.
But yeah, this whole where she stepped on his grave.
What cops have to go through seeing stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a lot of relatives served in the military, and like the ones who told me the worst job ever is the guys with to clean up battlefields.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I once knew a guy who said he wanted to be a crime scene cleanup guy, and then everybody else watched what we said around him from then on out, because weird.
Yeah.
Like his dream job. Okay.
Well,
that sounds like Dexter.
The thing is, you got to remember, okay, there are people who are like full on like psychopaths, and there are people who are like staged along the way. You know what I mean? Like they might be internet stuff. Like most psychopaths, like 99% of them never commit violence in their entire life. They just enjoy watching it or whatever, or they get their jollies by being a like a ruthless CEO or something like that. You know,
Right.
So you don't want to overreact to like people who are more who maybe have more violent interests or whatever. It's
Nice.
That's a face.
That's
That
amazing.
face. These two guys are like, this guy is off his rocker.
Right. Yeah, see the reaction, the eyes, how big they are on the. Everybody's like, "Whoa, buddy!"
You know,
You're a
I like the
cartoon.
fact that she was like felt so isolated from her family. It's like she's used to being invisible, so she's knows like everywhere in that apartment to be unseen from like any other angle. And then she just kind of stumbles onto some information here.
well. Plus, she's learned basic ninjutsu from Leon. So
No, right,
Yeah.
right.
I don't think we've, you know, this is where it shows what he does. I mean, he's not
Yes,
just a cop.
this
he's
is where we discover.
Right. Yeah, he's not
DEA
just a cop, he's
agent.
DEA. Right.
Yeah.
He works at the Department of Justice. Like, so this guy's a Fed.
he's like the bad guy version of Murtaugh and Riggs. You know,
Right.
like you promote him
Yeah.
just to keep him out of the
Right.
field. You know.
That's awesome.
If they ever,
But yeah,
weapons,
that was where she shut off the Transformers to turn on entertainment news, so she seemed more
Yeah.
aloof and
Yeah.
adult-like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cherry! That's when that cherry cocoa. That's when that crap came out, man.
But yeah, that's the dress that he got her.
See, he's trying to be more human, and she's trying to be more
Right.
like him, sociopathic. So he's
Right.
trying to show emotion. He doesn't understand how, and she doesn't understand how not to show emotion.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of
And
course,
then this
they
guy's
get kicked out.
Yeah.
You have to leave.
It's like we already have enough shady people here, obviously, because that's why we're not calling the cops. We don't want attention, but we don't want
Right.
your kind here.
Yeah,
either.
right.
And these scenes, these cutovers where they're out there moving, she's carrying the plant, I think really has a lot to do with her character at the end of it. Like when she's acting like a kid, she's carrying the bunny. When she's trying to act like an adult, she's carrying the plant.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he got injured here, it looks like.
Yeah, he
Like
took one in the
he got
shoulder,
sloppy.
high chest. Yep.
He'd probably take care of himself medically all the time. You know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
certainly. Yeah, because he walks out of the shower like nothing happened. Yep.
You know, it's a good thing that this movie was made back in the day, because there's no way that, well, I don't know, he makes good money. He could live off of today's milk prices as much as he goes through.
Right. 5K a head, yeah.
Like half of his salary goes toward the milk.
Yeah.
No, actually, if they made it now, he'd just have a cow in his apartment. He'd be just milking
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. And she's just looking for
Here's how you milk
validation
a
here.
cow.
She's like, okay, so we're going to play a game. And this game that she decides to play this time is a little bit more dark,
Yeah.
of the Russian variety. This is really dark. This goes into a place that I had actually forgotten about this part of the movie. Like, I was looking back at this movie through rose-colored glasses and forgot about all the weirdness and all the super dark stuff, like this scene right here, which
Right.
he tells her, "You're gonna lose."
Well, and
Right.
I'm gonna call him out on there's one in the chamber. I heard it. It's a
Right.
revolver.
Yeah.
Even if he could
Yeah.
say that there is one in there, there might not be one in the next chamber because it's going to revolve.
It's gonna-
before
right.
it fires.
Right.
Right.
But I get the point. It was fine for the movie.
Right. And it's supposed to show his level of, I'm a gun guru or whatever, right?
I mean,
'Cause
if realistically he could glance down there and at a glance tell if something was going to go into the chamber, likely, because you can see in that little bit of a gap if
Right.
there is round actually in the chamber. So he
Right.
could actually conceivably do that without needing to be that fancy of a gun guy. But yeah,
But he said he heard
in the
it.
situation.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
So his powers,
So-
he's like borderline magical.
I wonder. I'm just speculating if a person with high enough hearing, like a hearing, like fighter pilot level hearing, let's say, or whatever, like the vision equivalent. Because when the gun, okay, thinking of the physics of it, if there's only one bullet in there, as it goes around and stops, it would, in theory, impact slightly harder than an empty chamber because it would have more
Possibly.
mass. So
But
I'm not saying a real human could hear that, but the sound would technically be like me.
yeah,
A dog could probably hear that, but the dog would no idea what it is.
well, like Jay points out, when I first watched this, I thought she did put 5 out of 6 in there. Going back, maybe it was just because the freeze frame and it was in motion, but it looked like she may have put 3 out of 5 in there. But still, the chances were that he was right, that it was going to be a actual shot.
Right. Well, this is high end toxic right here. She's holding him hostage.
That's what. Yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah, it's spinning, so it's a little hard to tell, but there's at least 3 in there. And I think that's a 5-round smaller capacity handgun.
Yeah.
You can see 2 of them for sure in there.
Yeah. Well, it turns out he was correct.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very last second, pow, and slaps it away. Yeah, she was going to be over. And, she brought up a good point. Like, what do you care if I get a bullet in my head? Like, what does that matter to you, right? And that's her saying, I realize you operate with no emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You're a killer. You're a cold-blooded.
Well, not just
but
that.
she's like missing him. That's how he used to act, right?
She's throwing herself at him in every way she can, and he's not reacting because one, he has all the suppressed emotions, all right, but 2, he has no idea how to react to a normal anything like that to begin with. So since she has no idea how to react and has those suppression issues and whatever, she can't figure out what's going on because she's a kid, first of all, So it's that's why I said the psychology at play in here is just amazing, Like, I mean, objectively speaking, the actual, there's one really good action sequence in this whole movie, which is the earlier one with the first assassination sequence, right? And then after that, it's kind of an okay action film, because Gary Oldman never really explodes. Well, 2. There's one where Gary Oldman goes crazy, obviously, right? So, so after those early scenes, this is a psychology film. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's got the survivor guilt and all that stuff happening. Yeah. But they in the beginning, when she already knew stuff about him, she's been watching this guy for a long time anyway, while her parents were still alive.
And
before her family was destroyed.
Her skill for lying, like impromptu lying, comes into play here because he basically just throws her into the job, says, "Ring the bell and say something." It's like, "What did I say?" He goes, "I don't know, just say something."
Right.
And this is like I was saying before. So this is like saying the daddy bird and the baby bird with the little baby bunny in the nest, and he's saying, "Here's how you poke at it, like he's there to protect it in case the rabbit tried to bite the baby bird or whatever." You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what's going on here. That's sort of predator training psychology.
Right.
Yeah, earlier when he comes home and he opens the coat, you see the cutters on his on his belt, and you're like, "What?"
That's what he had when he came out as John Wayne. Yeah, his cutters. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, what is that about? I get it now because this whole sequence proves, the people you're going after probably know somebody's coming for them.
Yeah,
so they're gonna be paranoid.
She just takes the gum off that he had and sticks it in her mouth.
Right.
Chris. Oh yeah. What does he say here? If this leaves your mouth,
comes out of your mouth, right? This comes out of your mouth. I pull the trigger. Then later he has to tell him to stop. Let it go. He's like, let it go.
She's just strolling in.
Yeah, she's got a problem. She saw that and was like, oh no. And she knows what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Because she is one of those kids. She's probably have friends that are, that go to people like this guy to get that, baking supplies.
He like made her a little box to carry her gun in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Or maybe that's one of those training weapons he already had.
Yeah, I mean,
I trained on this gun when I was your age. I trained on this gun. It's like
Right.
Right.
It's
And
like
I
giving her
think-
tips.
I
The second
think
one
him
goes higher up
having-
on the chest.
Him having the drugs triggering her made it much easier for her to accept just offing him, basically. You know, like the fact that they were there to kill him, basically. You know,
Mhm.
this part, he's like, she turns her back on this guy, and he just, let's see if I'll get it here.
He's like, what the hell?
See, he actually does the opposite of what he teaches her. He's like, shoot low first, and then up higher,
And then a high on
finish
the
them
second
off.
one. Unless
Yeah,
he fell, and as he was on the way
That's
down, shot him
possible.
on the way down. I was thinking that too, because he literally just said that a couple seconds ago. Right.
well, I thought it was headshot and then one more tap to make sure. I thought that's what
It's possible.
Two in the chest and one in the head.
Was...
But
No,
yeah,
he
she's
says-
like,
I won't.
He tells her, don't shoot him in the face because
Right.
you got your
gotta
client
identify
has
him.
to tell who it is.
Or
Yeah.
Right.
he was doing what we do when we played GoldenEye back in the day, where you had what we call hat shots, where you're going to shoot them in the head, and before the body hit the ground, you had to shoot the hat off the head.
hey, there you go. I thought you meant proximity mines.
No, that was a different game. You know?
But yeah, she calls him out. She says, like, you said no women or children, right? It's like, yeah, who do you think this is going to hurt? And I won't exactly say what she said because I'm pretty sure I heard her say something really racist in there. But yeah, she's like, this is not going to only hurt the bad guys because it's what got her family killed and her little
Yeah,
brother
exactly.
specifically.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is kind of, where in Italy, where he grew up, kids her age drinking is not that big of a deal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, from his cultural point of view,
Fancy.
this whole section is not the same as it would be here in America, it was really hard for me to disconnect myself from that, but I had to, put myself in that headspace.
Yeah. I like this. Again, he's trying to act human.
Right.
He's trying because
Right.
he wants to celebrate her going out on her first job. But he's also having to deal with the fact that she's drawing way too much attention for being a contract
Right.
killer.
Yeah.
Especially with the laughing part.
Which
Yeah.
is funny.
Over
right?
the top.
Like she's throwing herself at him in a sort of the mating thing, but he's like, "You're calling attention to us. We are the Terminator."
Right.
Like they're just sort of
Right.
two mental ships.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always do the gum thing now. They got their routine down.
And she puts her hat on like him. You don't want to catch cold.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is like an anime thing. I remember anime like this, like father-child serial killer teams. Or whatever.
Right. Like one of the darkest montages ever.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good here. Again, it's showing his hearing, which is why they might have done that earlier with hearing around in the chamber.
Right.
Even though it doesn't make sense for a revolver, but it might have been to set up for this.
Right. Yeah, like I said, man, he's borderline magical, this guy. Because, yeah, you'd be able to hear that maybe, but, I mean, come on. That's a very light click to hear from down the hall and through a door, But good thing he did, because it saved both their lives.
Well, and also it's showing that he is becoming more attached because he pulled her out of the way when he could have just left her there and been rid of that problem.
Yeah.
Where, he didn't actually have to pull the trigger.
So he is instinctively beginning to act like a father, if not consciously.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, did they tell you about the ring trick?
Yeah. And I honestly think that this, he gave her the ring at the end, right? Right here. He goes, this is
right
the
here,
ring
yes.
trick, and he hands it to her. I think that's a symbol of love between the two characters. And like you were saying, he's starting to act like it instinctually now. He doesn't have to fake it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, her being the kid, again, we don't have to keep pointing it out, but I'm gonna. She's misinterpreting his kind of love.
Right. It's paternal.
And it doesn't help, the guy she's crushing on hands her a ring, even if it's a ring out of a grenade.
Right.
Well, it also doesn't help that she didn't have a real father to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah, and the pigs nicer than humans. He's like, yeah, I taught you
Yeah, I
that.
taught you that.
Right. Yeah, and
So-
his paternal instincts really come out in these scenes as well. Like, that's not his kid, but it's he's gonna be there. He's pseudo father.
Yeah.
Definitely father figure.
Yeah.
I think this is the part you mentioned earlier, Jacob, where he's like, if something
Right,
happens to me,
Yeah.
this is his will, basically.
Right. And the fruition of him becoming the father.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking care of things that are gone after he's gone, which he had never really thought about before, or at least in the movie, he was never shown to have thought about before this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he never really valued the money. He had it. He could have gone and got some out of there and spent it. At least that's what he's told. And I've got from the characterization of that other guy, I've got nothing to think that he wouldn't have given him the money.
Right.
That he was some sort of like greedy. Well, I don't want to say pig. Pigs are good in this story, but he could have. Leon could have just taken all that money and done whatever he wanted with it, but he didn't see value in it. But now he's got somebody he sees value in, so that could actually use it.
Right. And every one of those doorbells we just saw was like 5,000.
Yeah. And now he's like, since the close call, he's like, you stay here.
Right.
Just more that father protecting instinct.
Yeah, and they show their dichotomy here. They're opposites.
Well,
but
and
they
this
both need to grow. Okay.
This is also, I mean, we're going to find out about the hit he's going on right now, but I don't think this was necessarily something he was contracted to do. I think he both said, you stay behind because it's dangerous, but also you stay behind because I don't want you to know that I'm doing this for you.
Yeah. Yeah, because he keeps telling her that revenge won't help.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. And he knows from experience that it won't help and it won't do anything.
Yeah, it will be revenge for her, but for him it's protecting.
Right.
So,
right. And he's going to do what he can do. And what he can do really well is this. Yep. And while he's gone, she's taken over his duties. And this right here, she's just on a different level than these kids.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're going to bully you. She's like, take this and get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't have to put up with you guys, do I? Like, how about I just pay for the whole year?
Go play somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So just to, I know this sounds crazy, but so it's lesser known, but the mob at least used to be a place to invest your retirement, so to speak. A bunch of my older relatives who weren't mobbed up had money invested in the mob. They were more reliable brokers and like legit,
Yeah. Yeah. Less likely to get robbed.
Yeah. More honorable. Like if they lose your money, they'll find a way to pay it back.
Right.
Not to declare bankruptcy.
Right. Or
And she's just
bailed out.
She's fully playing on her ability to blend in and be completely a non-threat. They don't even check the food bags she put up there to find that there's guns in there. And but when we see the one person who is observant enough to know something is up with her.
Yeah, she's like 30 seconds away from doing a Terminator on that police precinct.
Right.
Like if she just got into that stall while him seeing her, he'd be like, well, where'd she go? Walk along. And then she'd come out guns blazing and just like
Yep. He's so good in this scene. But he does that neck curl thing away from the camera this time. And I think that's a symbol of that he's not going to be able to complete what he had done before. But we didn't see it. And of course,
you can't do this in the DEA bathroom.
Right.
Waste people.
Right. For either of them.
Like if one or two things had happened.
Right.
If she had gone to the women's room or she just got to that stall before he saw her, the whole film would have turned differently.
Right.
Yeah.
It would have been like, hey, why is no one coming out of the men's room? Because there was a pile of bodies in there. Like she would have been leoning them in balls. You know.
Dude.
Yeah, it's like he knows he can't really get away with this here, but he's put in a position where he has to do something with her because he can't let her go.
Well, they're at a stalemate because she has enough training to kill him if she gets to jump on him. But
Yeah,
she's kind of frozen and he's too close for her to be sure about it, you know?
Yep. And she was never taught the knife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
she was never
like you're
taught
saying, I was saying, you who said before, he knows he can't just plug her right there with, you know, because he has to like at least pretend to be a cop, you know?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't ask her, do you like Beethoven?
Right. Right. And yeah, she does a really good job of being intimidated. I'll bet that it was actually pretty easy for her to do that because he's such a good actor. That
Yeah.
And then the other guy walks in and they're both like, we're just going to kill each other. Why did you come in?
Right. Well, he calls him Blood in this scene coming up. That guy with the dreads. That's his last name. His actual the actor's last name. Like they don't actually give him his character name. Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. Yeah. He gets his.
He's thinking, where's Stansfield when you need him?
Oh, right.
Like every other time with the crazy guy, and I don't want to be. But now the crazy guy not here, I'm going to die.
That's a perfect shot for this guy.
It really is.
Agreed.
It's like he said something like, no women, no children.
Right.
It's like, oh.
And
No
I
woman,
mean,
no
that's
cry.
great because now she knows that Leon's out there taking care of stuff for her.
Right. And he knows too.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, she brought a pizza box.
I like this when he just casually points his gun at him and the guy backs up. He's like, ooh, oh, chill boss.
Calm down, man. Right, right.
Well, it's not even chill boss. It's this guy's an effing psychopath. He tries to leave. He goes to the right. See what he does? And Sam just using a pointer. He goes to the left. You see it every time.
Yeah.
He's not deliberately pointing at the reggae guy. He's using the gun like he's pointing his finger. But the other guy's like, I know he's crazy. I'm just gonna.
Right.
And
He
then
wasn't
watch
using
him walk
trigger
away
discipline
until
either,
he's
so
like,
right. Got his finger on the trigger, waving it around at people, man.
Ay caramba!
Yep. And here comes the payoff for him learning to read.
Yep.
Yep.
It's like
Very well done.
So I've gone to take care of business. I'm going to kill a guy at the DEA office. Don't worry about me.
Right. Because she had offered him that 20 grand earlier, and he goes, "No, I won't do it. It's too hot."
So I'm pretty certain he does not put on his killer cap for this mission. Not only does he go in without his shades, but he doesn't put on his head to not catch cold. This is not, this is, I mean, it's a little thing, but it's definitely not a contract thing here. He's for once acting fully on emotion.
Right.
Even if he doesn't know it.
Right. And the cap was to protect himself. And he wasn't thinking about protecting himself in this. It was all about protecting her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bop, bop.
And he's probably thinking, I lived for 15 years at Stansfield. This is how I died.
Right. I mean, that's crazy. Up on like what the fourth floor of the DEA building. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, right.
Just gonna get blasted in your seat, man. And wheezing the juice a little too hard, I suppose. And then this right here. This scene was really uncomfortable for me to watch.
Yeah.
I get why they're doing the stuff, and it's well written. It's just knowing what I know about Hollywood now and about what that director did with the lead women and his movies after this, and that this story was literally written about something that happened to him. Really, like this part of it is weird. Like the psychology and all things aside.
I get the psychology and everything,
right?
But you could have done it without that.
Agreed.
And I think
Well,
it would have
I
been.
don't know because
I think they just went a little too far with it, man. At a certain point, the girl loves the older man thing happens all the time. It's actually kind of normal, but they just went too far with it. You know what I mean?
see, I think though he's trying to
Yeah.
make you feel uncomfortable on purpose because this is an uncomfortable situation.
Right.
Like this is a bad situation, so you're supposed to be like, wait a minute, there's nothing normal here. This
Right.
is like
Well, even Natalie Portman pointed
No,
out how
no, it's
she
not
didn't like
normal.
this.
Yeah.
And like she was being over sexualized and like in scenes like this, especially, like you can see it. Like it's yeah.
Well, that's a given. That's I mean, I feel bad for her because she was a kid. I don't feel bad for the adult actresses because they got their money for 50 years and then didn't say anything for the next generation of actresses and actors,
Right. Apparently it wasn't too bad while you were making millions.
Nope. And then once you had your 40 million, you just kept your mouth shut and the next generation.
And as soon as you become irrelevant, then you bring it up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that I agree. I have no sympathy for those people, but this situation is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's well acted. Man, and the score throughout this whole thing has just been on point. Like almost invisible because it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this scene where he finally goes into bed, he's finally able to let go. This is one of the most human we see him throughout the entire thing.
And this is when he actively realizes that he's like he doesn't know it's fatherhood, but this is like because he knows this is an awkward situation. And it's a really weird thing because like if they're actually father-daughter and she weren't trying to sexual like she had a normal father relationship, up until like I want to say the 1830s or something, whole families slept in the same bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Parents, grandparents, kids. The bed was like
Charlie and Chocolate Factories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this isn't
Right.
even like I know I have relatives in Italy who still wind up sleeping in the same situation. So I'm not trying to like desensitize people to it. It's just to me the fascinating thing of what like she wants to be protected. She doesn't have a fatherhood bond with him, so she is instinctually going to the sort of mating thing. He is the fatherhood feeling. You can see look on his face. He's like, I know something's going on here that's like right and wrong at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a developing thing, and that's what makes the end of what he does at the end. That people, when they watch this movie, I know it's skipping to the end. He could have got away, but he doesn't to protect her, to get the guy who's not going to stop, to get what was the movie? I can't remember the movie, but like the monster was hunting the dude's family, and he could have got away, but he stayed to kill the monster, even though he was going to die, because he knew the monster would never stop hunting his family.
Talking about Pumpkinhead.
Right.
Oh no, Pumpkinhead's an entirely different thing. It was really cool if we ever want to do that movie.
Quiet Place.
Yes, exactly. That remember when he could have got away, but he had to save his family. You know what I mean? So he did the thing to save his family. Even he could have got away and lived for another day because he knew that monster would just keep coming, and that allowed them to have a chance to kill the thing later, so to speak. But in this case, so he actually got the monster.
So this here is another instance of that drip feed of information, only giving us what we need to know when we need to know it about just how intertwined into everything Gary Oldman's character is.
Right. And this ties in the first scene, the first hit that they showed.
Yes.
So even that paid off. Like writing is just so excellent.
If you want a more classic scene like I was talking about, Gandalf and the Balrog in Lord of the Rings. I mean, especially the book version. Gandalf could have got across that bridge, but the Balrog wasn't going to stop coming.
Right.
No.
So he had to make sure, and Gandalf in the circumstances he's in is not someone who it would be a tough battle for him to kill a Balrog, right? So he had to make sure the Balrog couldn't get to Aragorn and Frodo, who are the most important people there, obviously. And
right.
So he stayed behind and got the end.
Yeah, a mortal could never have hoped to caught that. He was a cosmic being, Gandalf wasn't just like some random wizard. He was a cosmic, like an angel.
Well, in his bound mortal form, it was a 50-50 thing, him being the Balrog.
Right.
I just have to ask Matt, is it accurate that you would have certain places like this where it was just totally standard practice when somebody walked in the door for the boss to go, take everybody into the back?
I've been
Just
in
like clear the room. We got to have a conversation.
There was a social club in my old neighborhood. I used to go in there as a little kid. My uncles were down there. And it was like it wasn't a mob that put the mob in there because they would have gambling in the back and they watch sports and all that. And I'm in there one day with like 5 or 10 other people, and one of the bosses says, "We got to talk. Everyone out or in the back, and everyone split up." And, not to me.
Knows.
I had to get out, but like he had to talk to someone, and everyone understood that guy. And it wasn't a fear thing. It was like we respected him and he protected the neighborhood. If someone robbed your bike and they told him he got your bike back, it was like,
They had business to discuss and it wasn't yours, so get out.
That's right. That's right. A need to know basis.
So what led them here is that cop was killed in this guy's neighborhood or in this area, in his area.
And he didn't kill everyone. Somebody saw him.
Yeah, some of the Asian people in there.
Well,
right.
plus
is the first time that's happened all movie.
Yeah, plus this guy knows about this group of cops that will contract through him occasionally. So why would he take a hit on one of their guys? So obviously they're going to come ask questions.
Right.
Right.
I love it because all these characters are acting at like a normal person would. Like an intelligent person would act in the situation.
Yep.
I love that kind of writing. I miss that kind of writing.
You mean good?
Yeah, right. Where the plot can still happen while people are being smart.
Yep.
This hallway scene reminds, the Matrix had to take from some of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, obvious. Yeah, yeah.
The
and
lighting,
like the scene when he walked into
color.
the DEA place. Yeah, all of it. Certainly. Yeah, this right here. Oh. Man. I wouldn't try to do what you guys are getting ready to try to do.
No.
But it was brilliant of them to set up a knock system, the 212 knock. And then her quick thinking, she was able to give him the wrong one. Well, but apparently the 212 is the area code of the place where this place takes.
Your gut reaction, most people's in this situation would be to say, no, there isn't a secret knock. But she's quick enough thinking to say, if I say no, they're going to think I'm lying, so I have to give them something.
Right.
Well, she's clearly
if there's no knocking system, they'll just go bust the door down. So it doesn't just give them the wrong code. It alerts him that something's going down and he needs to prepare.
Right.
I do want to disagree a little bit there, Jacob. I don't think they would have surprised him at all. But I think the knock told her that she was there and in trouble. Because we've seen Léon do crazy stuff like ninja stuff. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine they somehow surprised him, given his ninja-like abilities or whatever. But that knock is like, okay, I'm here and I'm in trouble, type of thing.
Right.
I mean, they got to be thinking they're in trouble because Stansfield is there alone. So
Well, plus, even if he knows she's coming back, you don't walk into the room, even if the door's unlocked, of a killer and surprise them.
Right. Yeah. Right. Hey, I'm in the room. Please don't shoot me.
Yeah, you end up what we had at the beginning of the film where they walk out in the hallway and their buddy nearly domes him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that had been Léon, he would have domed him.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's not the same in a sense, but the level of terror here that these cops have, it reminded me, well, I should say, years later when I read first in the manga and then watched Hellsing Ultimate, the scene where the Venezuelan troopers are going up to Alucard in the building, and there's an elevator scene just by a door. It just reminded me of the psychology of it, the terror that they had of that one guy. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah, now we start getting to see, like, what if Batman had the morals of the Punisher?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, by the
Funny
way,
one.
that poll I did earlier, the Batman poll I did earlier,
Oh yeah,
it was 50-50. It was 50-50.
that's how it ended.
That's how it ended.
Is that a recycling
Like,
sign
oh,
on the
he
wall?
got him a hole.
Yeah, and he closed the door
Where?
early.
Yeah.
They're like, uh-oh. Because the first group in
door's
actually
open, I
was
guess.
kind of like confident. Like, okay, yeah, this is a bad situation, but this is what we trained for. You know, we
Yeah.
go in here.
You
The
didn't
second
train-
group is like, what just happened? That was really fast. Like,
Did
But
they-
they're going to go
training for
in
that.
because they don't want to face him. They
right,
don't want to face his wrath.
right. Rocking
Well,
a hard
that's even on the Alucard thing. That really reminds because there was a character named Tubalcain something or other who dresses like a dandy and is crazy. Who was was outside with the troopers who were going to Alucard. Like they had a rock. This whole scene reminded me. That whole scene reminded me of this when I watched it. You know what I mean? It's like
This
And
scene.
the most famous scene from this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's frozen.
It's bring me everyone. You mean everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, I had seen that in GIF and clip form many
Yeah.
times before I ever watched this movie.
That's good stuff.
So
I wonder if
Roman
the
Close, how
John
was
Wick
Olive Garden?
scene was an homage to
They
that.
even
What's up, Roman?
brought the police trash truck.
Right?
You guys remember the John Wick's Get Everyone scene? I wonder if that's an homage.
I wouldn't be
Well,
surprised.
Might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think doesn't Roman. Yeah, this is your second favorite performance by Gary Oldman, right? Sorg is
Right.
first, and then this one, right?
They should read. I would like to see this whole scene redone to the Terminator music. You know. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, this is great. This is pure action suspense at the same time. Like, wow, this is great. Like, oh, too bad.
See, and I also like that they show that there is an open air vent above that, so it's not just like he just magicked up there. They ground it in reality.
Right.
Right.
And he comes down and uses his abs to get back up, but he takes one in the shoulder there.
He has amazingly strong legs and abs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly. He trains them every single day.
Sell all that milk.
Right?
Oh, I love this part. This part is so good. It's like,
I love the recycling sign. They're just going to reuse these guys over and over again.
Like,
Also, I
oh,
want to point out that looks like that's an Inox Beretta 92, the silver ones. Oof.
Yeah.
I think actually it looks
That-
like it's a two-tone Inox.
he's holding that gun with the shoulder he was just shot in. That's why his hand is shaking in those shots. It's all bloody. I
Yeah.
love
He's
it.
also-
I love the way
he's got the
kept
he's
track
got
of the
the Clint
continuity.
Eastwood wound, the shoulder with the blood drip.
Right.
the guy's behind him. He's like, "Do you see anything?" Yeah. He's
Yeah.
right here with a gun to my head.
Release the girl.
They're like, "Oh,
Jay, I have filled my tactical pants.
He wore the brown pants, right?
right."
Yeah, she spits on him. That's what I'm talking about. Even in that situation, she's got giant cojones.
He's like, "You're coming
He's
with
like,
us."
"You're coming with me."
All right. Brilliant.
And he like
Yep.
and he
Every-
shoots the
Shoots
It's like,
the
oh, he
sprinkler
killed him.
system.
Does that guy have like a flamethrower? Back a scene. Go back one more. When you see the canisters on the guy's back, like, why does that guy have canisters on his back?
Oh, I think it's probably maybe oxygen, maybe. I don't know.
It's
They
somewhere
did
in
say
here.
everyone, so maybe just everybody showed up with what they were wearing.
Right?
There. Like,
That
what-
guy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what that is. Probably air, probably something like that, I think, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, he shoots a sprinkler, lowers visibility, and leaves their buddy out to dry, which is ironic because he was wet.
He killed
Yeah,
him.
because he fires a couple shots past him instead of into him.
You see them again? He has double canisters or something back there, like with tubes. Like,
I mean, it wouldn't be necessary for a gas mask, but I think that's what they're going for. Is that's the gas mask guy that Jay points out that Leon steals the mask from. It wouldn't be necessary, but I think that's what they're going for.
oh,
I mean, unless it's a little bit more like a traditional self-contained breathing system like you might get with firefighters. But if it is, that's not much oxygen there.
Right. Or part of everyone was this Terminator or, exterminator guy who was out there like killing cockroaches somewhere.
maybe that's Cop Vader. He needs a breathing apparatus.
Right.
It's like, we need your help.
Send in Vader.
I like the fact that they're just so terrified of him. They don't even take a second to like acquire their target. They just shoot and down their own buddy.
Right. Hey, there's a shape. It's moving. Pow, pow, pow.
Yeah.
Oh, he killed him. No, that was you guys. Yeah. All the other people he killed, but that guy, he killed that guy.
And this is it. This is like when he figures it out that he has to protect he probably.
He goes, oh no, my plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fully goes diving for the plant because that's his friend.
So it's like the plant is pointing to the way out,
Wilson.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is kind of cool. Unnecessary, to use the laser pointers like that, but a cool effect visually. Yeah. Super.
Yeah, to be
and
shot.
He had the
shoulder,
wherewithal to be like, grab the axe on the way in. So they took the fire axe.
To be shot in the shoulder and to be able to pick up a icebox and throw it.
Right.
Yeah. Adrenaline is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
It's all that milk.
Yeah, I mean, he trains guys super physically strong. And this is what he's been doing forever.
Yeah. If you drink 50 gallons of milk a day, you can bench press a truck.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, this is great.
Again,
because
the Matrix, okay?
Mhm.
Them in the walls.
Yeah, oh, they're in the walls. Yeah, right.
Copying.
Yep. And Neo's even
And they bring out the
word
heavy
Leon.
duty stuff here. Bringing out the cannon.
Yeah, that the missile the grenade launcher, rocket launcher.
Yeah. Might as well.
Is that a grenade that they fired, or how is that thing classified? Because it went through the door first and then hit the wall on the inside and then blew up.
Yeah,
so I'm
I don't
not
know.
sure.
Yeah,
that's a
Maybe
rocket or
maybe it's one of those that's got a time delay so it doesn't go off too close to the person who shoots it before it's actually armed for impact.
Right.
And you notice how
I've got the gun wicca pulled up here. Let me see if they have it.
Oh, I just put it in the chat. I looked it up.
Okay.
For the rocket. Yeah, let me scroll down to that. I was busy answering a
thing
question about the HK rifle. That is all the way down at the bottom. Is a let's see, it's a rifle grenade fitted to the gun, which technically what we see in the film is actually a parachute flare.
Interesting.
So, and the grenade is not even actually fitted to the AA-52's muzzle. So they kind of movie magicked some ideas there. But I think they were going for like a rocket propelled grenade that's triggered by the actual blast of like a blank or maybe even an actual bullet or something like that.
Yeah.
So they kind of movie magicked that one.
Nice. These cops have a lot of European guns.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the hallway scenes were filmed in the U.S., right? But all the inside of the apartment stuff was in France.
And they established that Stansfield
this
is
whole
a coward,
this scene
by the way.
here is like,
Yeah, this was powerful.
Yeah.
This was super well acted between both of them. And this is what I meant earlier about them having like real chemistry.
Mhm.
This right here is probably it's among the best scenes in the whole movie, I think.
and he finally gets it too. He finally gets what
Yeah.
she's been doing, and he gets
And
this
she gets
feeling
it.
I'm having is a father. You know, it's a fatherly thing.
Yeah, and the whole I'll meet you in an hour at Tony's. Right? In an hour
Yeah.
at Tony's. She's like, I don't want to go. I won't go without you. Well, his plant's down there, man. You need to go get it. Like,
You need to take care of Wilson. Okay.
right. He wrapped it in the blanket.
Somebody's got to water him, keep him green.
That's right. He wrapped it in the blanket that he gave her at the beginning. So he's wrapping the plant in the blanket now instead of her. She's like taking the spot. Yeah, and that was cool. That was a good shot. And then follow it here. This is why I didn't know what it was. I have no idea what this thing is. Cool effect though.
Yeah,
Very
they
cool.
were pretty accurate with a lot of the gun stuff and how they were used and how they would perform. But the grenade and the hearing revolver load around,
Right.
those are the only two things that kind of
I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
Yeah.
Well, him disappearing into nowhere too.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised Luke Beeson didn't have like 5 of them in the room, giving over the top. He does some of these scenes
Right.
in all his movies, not just
I
this.
like
one.
this part. This part is so he's like, I didn't tell you to bring down the whole building.
Right. Just take him out. Right. Well, Commissioner Gordon down here freaking out.
which is to me that this is actually kind of odd because like it's almost like their behaving is over the top as they think he would, but he is over
Right.
the top but in control.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Well, he
when he
hasn't taken
does it,
his
he,
pill yet.
he has a little bit of control on that. Like it's a measured chaos.
Right.
They're just panicking because they don't want to face him and they also don't want to face Leon.
Right. And this was brilliant, by the way.
It's like we got a survivor.
Yeah, Oldman hasn't taken his Jekyll and Hyde medicine yet. So he's still
yet.
good right now.
I mean, this wasn't a big surprise reveal or anything, but it's smart for like how what we've seen as him as a character would think about how to get out of this situation.
It makes sense. It's the only way he was going to get out of here. And then they parted the ways for him, and he walked through a giant line of like 100 guys on the stairwell.
Yeah.
That was a good shot.
Yeah, they check him out a little bit, and it's like, all right, we'll be right back. And he's like, can I put the mask on and breathe better? Because he doesn't want to run into anybody who potentially knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
And he was 2 seconds too late.
Yep.
Well, not that he's hunting him. He
Right.
he knows he doesn't want to leave right away. He wants to stay there long enough to find that guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. And he could tell that was him, even though he didn't have any identification or a mugshot to go off of, because that Frenchman looks so Italian.
I mean, I could believe that he would have been able to get a description off of the what's his face, the his bank,
Right.
when they had that confrontation. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility.
Well, that's
there.
true. Yeah, Tony could have given him a picture or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, he's just going down, all injured. Could have made it out.
Yeah.
And
Remember, he
double
had
back.
ninja skills. He could like disappear into the rafters, like instantly.
Right. Right.
Like,
The smoke
It's like,
bomb.
all right, I'm out. I made it.
And then thinks better of it. Yep.
Oh.
He's gonna make it out, guys.
Hey,
He's gonna go to Tony's.
He knows Gary Oldman's there though.
Yeah. Yep. And this scene was really well done too. Like that transitioning into the flash on the screen where everything gets brighter. Yeah. What is that? Washed out? Is that what they call that effect? Where it oversaturated with white like that.
Yeah. With the brightness, washed out. or blown out sometimes.
Burley. That was super well done. And of course, she's got the plant. She's down the path. They let her go. The one cop looked at her and was like, "What are you doing here? Get out of here."
Yeah.
You hear
It's
it.
like, I love this part.
Yeah.
For Matilda.
That's right. And he looks down at the ring.
I love Gary Oldman's like, oh.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's a
But not-
long
but-
grenade fuse potentially right there.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. It made for a
Right.
Yeah.
fantastic finale.
Well, he could have been holding it until he opened the shirt up.
Yeah, he could
But
have been
still
holding it
didn't
with his
belong.
arm. Yeah.
A lot of flames through for a grenade too.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I mean that's
Yeah.
that's movie grenade though.
Yeah.
That's a
I mean,
movie-
even if all those grenades went off at the same time on his chest, they're not incendiary.
Well,
Right.
that's because Gary Oldman is highly flammable due to all the drugs he's taking.
that's what it is.
Those are
It's
those-
his fiery personality going off.
Right. Those rare fuel air explosive grenades, you know.
Gary Oldman's character is a fuel air explosive.
Right.
And I absolutely agree with Roman. He was so close, but if Leon had survived, it would not have had such impact.
Agreed.
And that's
Yeah.
something that a lot of people, especially these days, I think don't understand about good stories is good stories and good characters need an ending.
Yep.
Otherwise, I mean,
Thank you.
it becomes watered down. There's no risk. There's no anything like that. The finale of a character's story, even our own, our finale brings value to everything that we've done in our lives. And so
Right.
that obviously translates to screen. The finale, the death of a character or the ending of the story makes everything else much more valuable.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
then
mean-
honestly, the death isn't about what happens to the character itself when the character dies. It's about how the people around him react to, or him or her around the character react to the death. Like this
Exactly.
scene exactly right here, where both of these actors are just they're S tier in this scene.
Yeah.
He's
So-
like,
And also, like, remember, he's a nice guy serial killer. He's an assassin serial killer who murdered probably hundreds of people by now, right? So at least several dozen. And like, he can't have a sort of morally redemptive ending without dying to save someone innocent, you know?
Right.
Right.
So in other words, it doesn't
Yeah.
make him a good person to die like that, but it says that he was willing to die for a good thing, not for a bad thing. And so you get a sort of karmic balance at least out of it, you know?
He had a lot
So
of
he's like,
killing.
I'll
but
give you $100 a month.
yeah, and to credit to Jay, I think it was Jay
$100
earlier
a
that
month.
said that this is when he shows his true character, and he might not have actually been willing to give Leon a bunch of his money if he asked for it. And I
Right.
give him credit there. Yeah, you made a good
but
point.
she's not Leon.
Yes,
No,
it's true.
you're not going to give a little girl more than $100. I mean,
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Plus, it's not like
No.
Leon has $50 million. He probably has like maybe $250,000 or something.
yeah.
You know, that's even if you pull it all out, like
Right.
it's got to last her a while. So
Actually, I was just thinking that, Jay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
She goes to the school that she's supposed to been going to and be like, so
Right. My parents died in a car wreck. And this old lady's like, right.
It's like, you need to
if
stop
wanna come
lying.
back- right.
I fully expected her to get kicked out when she just straight up told the truth, and it was crazier than any lie she's ever said before.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Right.
want to point something else out. Danielle's character goes, "What am I going to do with a 12-year-old cleaner? Not that I won't give you work in the future, but you're too young now."
Oh yeah,
Right. I don't
If
have
there were a
anything for a
sequel to
kid.
this, it's 30 years later. She's a cleaner, and because
Right.
she's done. I mean, I don't care what people say. Unless you have massive psychological intervention,
Yeah, she's-
which obviously ain't happening. You know, she's been trained as a assassin, super assassin. You know, she's got the mentality. She's smarter than Leon to begin with, and
Right.
you know, if there's a sequel to this ever, like it'll be her as like a 30-year-old assassin, probably saving some other little kid. You know.
Just,
this is
just
a
watch
great-
the film Nikita after this movie.
Yeah.
The old
Well,
one,
supposedly
original,
the
not
same
the
character.
remake.
Supposedly the same character. Or at least based off of, or
Yeah.
inspired by. But yeah, this was a great scene as far as the resolution of the grieving process, and giving him what he wanted. She was like, if you love your plant, why not plant it in a park, right?
Yeah.
They had that conversation earlier, so this is a great payoff
Because
for that
it will
as
freeze
well.
to death.
Well,
Right.
the
It'll
plant
get dirty.
it was Leon's. The bear is heart thing, or
Yeah,
rabbit,
right.
or whatever the hell it was.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and like he did eventually kind of come to terms with the fact that he did want to put down roots and maybe
Right.
have a normal life. So, and he being at the center of that explosion is probably not, and being fairly unknown, I would assume, public records wise, is not going to have a gravestone that she is likely to find ever. So that can
Right.
kind of like be his grave
Yeah.
marker for her to visit.
Well, and that
Right.
song there at the end was a song by Sting, but the original version was the Goldeneye music, because the same guy who did the music for this movie did the music for Goldeneye right after this. And then the writer for this one, the next thing he did was The Fifth Element. So it was right in that era of time. So, but yeah, the Goldeneye music,
Yeah.
you can hear it. The version I watched actually had it in there. You could hear it at a couple times. Yeah.
Jay. Finishing up this movie with a touching moment. Of course.
Yeah, the music in this was great, man. I don't know what you guys would give the music in this, but what do you think?
I would need to watch it again to actually pay attention to the music, and that may actually be a credit to the music that it just
Agreed.
drew me into the scene so much that I didn't actually have to sit there and specifically say, "Oh, this is a cool song." It just was part of the entire environment.
Right.
So I don't have any specific comments on music other than that.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Yeah, Invisible, it like
think I would agree
chameleoned
with
into it,
Roman.
like it was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, what would you say?
I think I would agree with the Roman there, that his comment there.
Oh yeah.
I think I like the theatrical better. But
Was the extended cut have like 6 minute long gunning down scenes, like RoboCop extended where they shoot Murphy for like 5.5 minutes?
yeah, we'll keep those scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the action in this was great for me. The special effects were great.
Yeah.
If not a little over the top, but still very tasteful for the most part.
Yeah, I was kind of speaking on some of the special effects, going back to that bathtub shotgun blast.
Yeah.
I was scrolling through the firearms database, which I always have at the beginning of a movie we do that have guns, and I didn't have it today. Apparently, like the special effects coordinator, stunt coordinator, or somebody had to sit in the bathtub to prove to the actress that the blank that they were going, the squibs and everything that they were going to fire off were going to be safe, because she was scared. Because it, like, you can tell in a freeze frame that gun is actually above her and kind of angled over. That's pretty standard in films, safety wise. But but it was really close to her, and she was so afraid to do it. The guy who was organizing it basically put himself in her shoes and fired off a few rounds. It's like, see, perfectly okay.
Yeah, that was a great scene. Super effective.
And they must have had
an
air compressor, and just when the gun went off, shot the air compressor.
Well,
so it looked like
that's what I think.
A hit.
This was 1994, right?
Yeah.
This would have been filmed around the same time as The Crow, and Brandon Lee died to that blank. So the actors are probably going crazy. Like, is that really safe? Is it really safe? Is it really safe?
That's a good point.
Yeah. That scene with Fun Boy.
That's why the actor should be involved in checking the firearm.
Yep.
And the ammunition.
It's almost like it's the
Novel
responsibility of the person holding the gun to check the barrel to see if it's got any blockages.
I don't know what y'all are getting at. I can't figure it out.
Well, I agree with that to a point.
About?
I think nowadays, anytime you would actually have a blank that's killing someone, it should be entirely a special effect. The actual shoot now. The technology is so advanced that you can put that one bullet in there that looks like it's going to shoot him in the head, in the scene.
Right. But use squibs, because the CGI blood thing looks terrible.
It looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
You just gotta put. Well, yeah, but you gotta put work in it. Like Like there's CGI that's like this. You can, if you put a decent amount of work into that one bullet scene, it'll look pretty good, you know. And the point is, I'd rather have CGI for a bullet than take the risk with these actors losing their lives, you know.
Yeah. I mean, if they do it right,
Yeah.
even scenes where like two actors are standing pointing guns at each other, it's
They're off to the
framed
side.
that way, but they're
Right.
you know, they're
It's not
not
full on.
necessarily lined up with each other. They're, you know, offset and angled
Right.
away. But from what we see from the framing of that is it looks like they're pointing directly at each other. And if they do
Right.
all of that correct, I mean, and if the gun doesn't need to
If
fire
they
in the
follow
scene,
the
you don't
gun
load anything.
safety,
Right.
Yeah.
gun safety, not having live ammo on the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
People who don't follow the rules ruin it for the rest of us.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yep. Education on the whole thing is the how to avoid most of these accidents, because most of the accidents are the avoidable stuff. But
anyway,
yeah, I would say that the cinematography in this was great.
That was Léon.
Like, wow, the writing, the pacing, the acting, the chemistry between the actors. You know, not just the two mains either. Like the way Gary Oldman was interacting with people, and like they were, you know, on screen physically like taken aback by this guy, or you know the way that Tony interacted with people. Hey, you know, everybody in the back, and that no questions, everybody just gets up and gets out of the room. You know, like all those little nuanced steps where it was just all there.
Yeah,
the setup and payoff on a different level, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, this is pretty much everything came together for this. I think it's hard to poke a lot of holes into it, and it's been one of those movies that's been recommended to me for a very long time, and I knew people loved. I just had never gotten around to watching it.
Right.
And I can see absolutely why it was loved. Also, I can see why some people find it a little off-putting, but I also understand that that's probably intentional for story-wise. I'm
just glad
I want to watch it again to see little things that I think I probably have missed.
Yeah.
I love all the psychological stuff, you know. I love the early two action sequences when Leon's taking out the main guy, well, not taking out the main guy, taking out his crew, and then where Oldman just goes bat crazy, you know. I love those two scenes, you know. I like the training. I like the serial killer training.
Right.
Every time, you know.
Take your daughter to work day. Here's how Daddy kills a guy who owes money.
Right. The first one especially.
Here's how to be a supervillain.
The amazing acting from like John Reno, from Natalie Portman, from Gary Oldman. You know, it's funny. I don't think Gary Oldman's character is in more than 20 minutes, and maybe 25 minutes at most of his movie. Even that, but he feels as present as John Reno's character is, you know.
But
really
but that's a good thing. Like when like in pro wrestling, the heel might not be there all the time, but you always feel their presence because they're the heel, you know.
Right.
So
well, you know, Keanu Reeves and Mel Gibson both tried out or were interested in this part.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but from what I'm gathering, the part was already
Leon.
Leon. From what I gather, the Leon part was always meant to be the way it was. Yeah.
I can imagine Mel Gibson playing Gary Oldman character because he plays crazy really good too. But I can't imagine either Keanu or I mean,
no.
Mel Gibson is Leon back then. Not mid '90s. Mel Gibson.
I mean, he's turned into.
Does Mel Gibson look Italian?
I don't know that John Reno looks Italian
either. True.
No, I mean, there's a lot of acting that goes into the Leon in this, and Mel Gibson's a really good actor. Keanu is an okay to good actor. John Reno is a great actor. You know,
he is.
In my lifetime, he's one of the top 10 actors I've ever seen. Great actor. I don't know how many movies. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies with him in them. That's the thing. I even watched some of his French films subtitled because I love him as an actor. You know.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, he acts with his body, and looking back on that movie now, after you say that, you can see it, especially that early first scene when he's got the guy by the throat, and the girl or the girlfriend, quote unquote, walks out of the room, and they both turn and look. like going back and look at that now, seeing genre, just the way he very intentionally leans forward and cocks his head to the side.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like it conveys both what the heck are you doing here, and also just like this menacing presence.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
think that might be hard for some people to pull off.
Yeah, he was very imposing in this.
Yeah, that's a rare thing today, being able to act with your body or your facial expression.
Right.
He is the only reason to watch that horrible Godzilla movie for Gino, the 1990s one.
Yeah.
Like if you edit out all the other parts of the movie with his parts, you have a good 20-minute movie. So, like, or just skip through and just watch his parts if you've never seen them before. The movie, again, I said it before, anyone go watch Wasabi, Wasabi.
Yes,
I'm not sure if it's a Japanese movie with English subtitles or a French movie that takes place in Japan, but you're going to find likely the subtitle. Get the subtitle version so you hear his voice, his acting. Like the dubbed version is like bad anime dubbed, So there's that.
The tagline at the top of the box says, "Quite possibly the greatest French language English subtitled Japanese action comedy of all time." I'm interested.
That's catchy.
That's got me interested.
Yeah, right.
And
sound like a Mad Libs exploded.
Do I have it? I mean, I watched it 4 years ago. Do I have it? Is the question. It's
Yeah, I think is this the one where he when he shoots a bad guy, they like comically go flying back?
It's a little over the top.
Way
I
over
don't
the
know how to
top.
explain it.
Yeah, but it's
friends
good.
with
It works.
subtitles. Yeah. But yeah. What else? He's done a lot of. Well, he was obviously in the French Love Film Nikita. We talked about that, right?
Yeah.
He was. I didn't know this. He was I'm looking this up. He was the French Mufasa. Lion King. I did not know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me say it again.
The movie, another movie he was great in, Ronin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But just go check his stuff out. It's such an amazing career, and it's French films too if you can get them.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Natalie Portman may have been in one or two things.
Yeah. Yep. Well, she's done a lot of good stuff too, but not like him.
Well, that's true. I mean, I like Black Swan. What about you guys?
I have not seen it yet.
I
do want to watch it. I just haven't seen it yet.
It's dark, man. It's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
she was
heard,
pretty good in that.
But I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be honest with you. I wasn't super excited to watch it, but it was pretty good by the end. But yeah, I would give this an 8.5 out of 10 to be honest. And I went through and added up, like the writing and acting and all that stuff. Yeah, I gave them all different points. So I ended up giving this an 8.5 out of 10 after adding everything up.
If I were going to criticize this movie, I'd say it wasn't violent enough for my taste.
Yeah.
8.5 out of 10. I could watch pure violence in movies.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, they had a lot of off-screen stuff happening.
Yeah. I agree. 8 out of 10 sounds good. 8.5 out of 10 sounds good to me. So.
Nice.
I think I agree completely.
Yeah. I'd say about the same.
Nice.
Yep. Me too. So cool.
Yeah.
That
was a lot of fun.
Léon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Dracula.
Yeah, and Gary Oldman is an old man.
I liked him as Dracula, to be honest with you. I didn't think Bram Stoker's was that bad of a movie at all. Winona Ryder was great in that. Keanu Reeves was good in that. I mean, the writing for the Harker character was kind of iffy, but overall not bad.
With I put it with me and Dracula films. I'll find it and link it to you guys later in Jacob's channel. There's a guy who reviewed like every Dracula film ever to say which one's the most accurate, and it turns out that that Dracula film is reasonably accurate, right? But I want a Dracula that's either going to be very, very, very book accurate with a sort of laid back count, or like way over the top, like
Dracula Untold.
Yeah, or even better, Dracula 2000.
There you go. There you
You
go.
know, something, like how to put it, like I don't want in between, And the thing that bugged me about the Dracula movie, it felt like when I love the novel, obviously, right? So I watched that movie, and it just feels, it feels more like I don't want to say a mockumentary of Dracula because he's too over the top. Not that Gary Oldman's a great actor, but the way the character is written in the movie is just too over the top to be Dracula to me.
Right.
Like Dracula comes across as like a quiet presence, like Christopher Lee in Horror of Dracula, the Hammer film. The way he menaces as Dracula.
That's my favorite Dracula.
Yeah, Horror of Dracula, my favorite Dracula movie. But the way there's a scene where he finds Van Helsing it's Van Helsing Harker in the ground. No, it's another guy, and he's walking down the stairs, and Christopher Lee was a legit real life killer, right? So you guys didn't know that.
War hero, yeah.
Yep. And like he has this menacing walk and this menacing on his face, and that's Dracula. He just he's subtle. He's
Tarkin was good in that movie too.
Yeah.
Peter Cushing.
Oh, that's like the ultimate horror film. Cushing and Christopher Lee, man.
Right.
Gold.
Yeah, it's hard to go wrong with that kind of stuff. I know Nos wouldn't agree that that's the best version, but that's my favorite version. Then again, he just likes Nosferatu.
Well, best means best made. I think there's a Frank Langella Dracula movie from the 70s, early 80s, which I think is the best made. But in terms of greatest, like most combination of accuracy and
iconic
value, I love those old British films like the Hammer films. I love them.
Oh yeah, Hammer films are great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us, man.
I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the discussion. Anybody got anything they want to plug? Start with Beard.
Let's see. I think it's this week. Roman's got free range.
Yeah.
So I'll be there on Thursday.
Yep.
I think all of us are there.
Yeah.
I think that's it for me for this week until next week. Sunday, I guess I've become a regular on Sunday afternoon with Stark of Iron and Snail Messiah on YouTube for a reactor side chats. We going over some of the Fallout universe stuff with a bunch of Fallout nerds over there. So we'll be delving into the fauna of the Fallout world, all the abominations, death claws, and cazadors and such. So that's going to be some good time. And then Monday we've got after the weekend is coming back. We took Memorial Day off, and we're going to be jumping into summer vacation movies for this month. So R2 has picked out some good ones for us. I don't remember them all off the top of my head, so you're just going to have to show up and find out with me.
Like Summer School?
Don't know if that one's on the list.
Summer School.
Maybe.
I love that movie.
But
anyway,
it
sounds fun.
We'll have some stuff, and when I know things, it goes out on Beard of Liberty on X. So anybody can follow me there if they want, or don't. Whatever. Free country.
Right on.
Cool. Dempsey, what do you got coming, man?
Not much really. I'm going to be on Romans, and that's pretty much it. And then I'll be back here again later, in July, I think, to do Alien and Aliens. That's going to be a ton of fun. I cannot wait. I love horror even more than I love action movies. So this is right in my wheelhouse, and I can't wait to do a bunch of research on these two super iconic movies.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
I'm kind of hesitant, but looking forward to the Alien Romulus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right now, I'm still kind of iffy on it, but
shall see.
Matt, what do you got coming?
Well, Roman Empire on Thursday. I just posted my. Do not get angry, Matt. Do not get angry. Jump on the dark side. After some fighting with YouTube, I posted my review of Racial Hornblower RN from 1953. If you want to see the version with the big red blob for censorship, you watch YouTube. If you want to see the version without the big red blob, go to Rumble. Okay. Not only did Rumble not censor it, they won't want me to censor it, they monetized it. So there you go. I also posted my review of a book called Season of Blood, which is about like a journalist account of his time in Rwanda during the 1994 Rwanda genocide. There's some history in there. Book, I get some good book has some good stuff, bad stuff in terms of quality or whatever. But talk about that. Friday Pandemonium. Jacob's been a regular on there now. Dempsey, you know about that. You show up in my chat quite often.
That's right.
So that'll be this Friday. I'm hoping to do enough time research. I want to talk about some music that has come out and is coming out over the course of the next between the last 2 months and next 4 months.
Nice.
Like new Nightwish, new stuff, new Winter Sun, all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Good stuff. I will be reviewing next. Oh, my brain just locked up. What Jacob we were talking about? Greyhound. I'll be doing a review of Greyhound from the 2022 Tom Hanks film.
Greyhound.
So I'll film that
Nice.
tomorrow. Record that tomorrow. Then next up will be my reviews for next episode of Sharp, and then the Horatio Hornblower TV series from the 90s as well. So I'm probably going to be reviewing a show. I grabbed it because I remember as a kid and kind of liked it, but it's called The Fantastic Journey. It's like a 10-episode 1970s show. And I watched half of the first episode, just kind of like glancing at it, like, this is really good. And like this is better than I remembered. Now I have to stop it because I want to review it because it's like, like it's a sort of a sci-fi horror show from the 70s. Has aliens and time travel, all sorts of cool stuff. And
Nice.
like many shows in the 1970s, it lasted 10 episodes and died. But does that. Jacob, the next thing I'm with you, I know I'm up for Alien. I think that's I'll get in between now and then.
Yeah. Your next one for you is True Grit. True Grit's the next one
Is that next week or the week
for
after?
you. That is next month. Yeah.
Oh,
I
we
think
put it on
it's
my calendar.
in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we edited my calendar live. So Leon.
Yeah.
Leon. True Grit's
High
on.
action calendar update.
6/11.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. If you go to Friday Pandemonium, you can see Matt and his calendar live.
Oh yeah.
So I'll have what we're doing the original True Grit.
The calendar update segment.
Yep. On the June 11th on Jacob's show. Then we were reviewing Speed on June 18th on Jacob's show.
Nice.
Yes. Exciting stuff coming up. For me this week, I'll also be on Roman's show, be on Matt's on Friday, and that evening I'll be on Potato Ravens, and we'll be talking. What is it? Yeah, the Two Towers. Yep.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of been delayed a couple times, but we're going to do it this week. So
Nice. That's a great flick.
And
I
next
think
week,
that's probably
next
my
week-
favorite of the three.
Yeah. Next week, I'll be going over the X-Files episodes 4 and 9 of season 1. So
Nice.
be on the lookout for that. And that's
Truth
all
is
we
out
got.
there.
And that is a wrap, people. I hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right. Thank you,
Later,
Chad.
y'all.
Wish you all
And
luck.
we'll end with this.
I like these calm little moments before the storm. It reminds me of Beethoven.
Still live.